First quarter of the 1989 first semi-final. Geelong and Melbourne from the MCG, and it's raining pretty heavily at the first bounce. Dwyer gets the first tap out, and the umpire right onto this. And there's a box on already.
They had to go by Geelong.
Well, that was predictable because Geelong are going to be fired up.
Dwyer's booted the ball downfield, and the wrestle continues. Burke and Wilson.
And still going on the outer side there.
Schultz is in there.
Buse and Stretch.
It's a decent old Donnybrook. Entirely predictable.
And what's got to happen now is players have got to get in front. You see the free kick's been played at centre-half back for Geelong.
Pretty willing out there.
Goes on. But the umpire will pick out technical freeze. In fact, he's bounced the ball.
The play's continuing, and so is the fight. We might get a go out of this. Steins, beautifully tackled by Bruns. Campbell shoots and misses. And the brawl is still going on.
Well, actually, had Melbourne kicked a goal, then it would have gone against Geelong.
The emergency umpire's out there. I wouldn't be surprised if a few numbers have been taken. That'll be the last thing that either side would want, especially the winner of today's game. Mark is taken by Hamilton for Geelong. Hamilton from half-back. Looking for Bruns. Wilson in the road. Bad kick. Could prove costly. Wilson at centre field to put Melbourne deep into attack again. Short pass. On a lead was Bennett. He would have been well within kicking distance. Unfortunately for him, wasn't able to take the grab. Oh, solid stuff from Dersma. Was taken away by David Cameron. Geelong swing into attack for the first time up towards left half forward, and a chance down there for Lindner.
The bounce favours Grinter. Oh, he's met solidly there by Stoneham. Good play, Barry Stoneham. The umpire very quick on the scene.
Lindner's taken out Johnson. You see Johnson on the bottom.
And Don, this was very predictable with the build-up about Geelong's
well, Ian, if they're going to do it, it's the
week.
best time to do it right at the start now. Let's get it over and done with because there's going to be about another 90 minutes of football.
The umpire has called play on, and Alan Johnson runs away from half-back for Melbourne. There's a bit of a dust-up still behind play, but Johnson, no-nonsense stuff. Up towards half-forwards, a free kick to Melbourne. It's going to the big ruckman, O'Dwyer.
There's another fight down there.
There's a tackle by Flanagan on Steins. You can see there Hocking taking his eye off the ball, and obviously Geelong are going out with one thing in mind, and that's to rough Melbourne up.
So Steve O'Dwyer has the football about 40 metres from goal. Questionable distance for the big fellow. Pretty determined. He hooks the kick into the left forward pocket. Marking contest. The ball comes to the ground. Melakalis misses it. Steve Hocking gets it out to Darcy. Darcy's kick high in towards the centre. High flyer Ablett couldn't mark. Stoneham. Grinter well tackled by Stoneham. I thought fairly. Umpire said no. Free kick will go to Rodney Grinter.
And Ian, this ball is very treacherous. The rain falling, it is very hard to handle.
Grinter's kick directly down the ground to half forward. It's becoming, as Don said, pretty slippery. And picked up for the Cows. A Melbourne player down at Steins. In the meantime, Stephen Hocking breaks clear. Up towards centre field. Oh, beautiful mark. Taken by Drum. A real slider. Wet weather football at its best. Long hand pass. Picked up for the Cats by Buse. From right half forward. Strong mark. Willie Brownless. And within kicking distance. He and Bennett, two of the best kicks in the competition. And you find Bill Brownless, despite the wet ball, will get the distance.
Well, he was named at centre-half back, Brownless, but I couldn't believe they'd line up the way they did on paper, Geelong.
Brownless, 45 out. He's got the distance, the accuracy, a little astray, I fancy. One behind, so scores level. What a game so far. Early stages. Alan Johnson, who looked to be KO'd, has got up off the ground. Jimmy Steins licks the wounds, literally. White, a beautiful tap on, but over the back is Brownless again. Tries to find a teammate. Melbourne player there with his jumper torn. O'Dwyer.
It's a Melbourne player down behind play too.
Free kick going Melbourne's way, Don. And it might be taken by Newport or O'Dwyer. Let's take a look at that. Taken out by Hocking. Fair bump. Off the play, Newport.
Newport's kick towards centre half forward. The 50-metre line. The punch by Schultz from behind. Kick off the ground by Healy. Comes out wide towards half forward. The race is on. Wilson in front. Gathers well. Brilliant tackle, Melakalis. Play on, says the umpire. Good umpiring. Schultz. Wilson recovers well from the knockdown. The kick around towards half forward, but intercepting brilliantly as Bruns, and he takes the mark at half back. He plays on quickly, and the kick is equally as brilliant. Finds Drum on centre wing. Great opening to the first semi-final here at the MCG. Drum's kick now, up towards half forward, and a great mark taken by Stoneham. At half forward, Barry Stoneham plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward, but chipping in nicely is Sean White, and he takes the mark for the Demons. Plays on quickly. That's the Melbourne player that was down behind play just a few seconds ago. Brett Lovett recovers, kicks it out towards the wing. The mark is taken by Viney. Viney is 25 metres on his own. Now he kicks up towards the forward pocket area for Melbourne. Marking contest, the ball at the back. Flanagan taps it on to Darcy. Darcy goes out to Gary Hocking. His little chip pass finds the player Hamilton on centre wing. Hamilton, the kick is smothered. The ball on centre wing. Lovett, good strong play. Gets a little chip kick out to Grinter. He's fouled. Umpire says that's all right by me. So the boundary throw-in will take place centre wing out of side.
Good hip and shoulder from Gary Ablett. Interesting duel between he and Grinter. Why, Dwyer, beautiful punch, as good as a kick. And let's see if Brownless can make amends. He's a long way from goal. He won't score with that kick. Johnson gets well underneath the ball. Ball fisted forward. Chance for Drum again. Dispossessed pretty smartly, and the ball over the boundary line in front of Stoneham. And he looks the worse for wear. Love it, doesn't he?
Why can't they get him a new jumper quickly?
I guess so, they're looking. He certainly stands out. Ablett with the big leap. Couldn't control it. There he is, Lovett from a standing start. Viney in front of Hamilton. Viney at the left half-back flank. Still the rain persists. That's a shocking kick. And well blocked by the gentleman with the umbrella.
Which one?
The one that put it over the fence. You'd hang on to him today. It's still a wrestle. O'Dwyer this time thumps it 10 metres the other way. He's doing well in the ruck so far, Steve O'Dwyer. Buse from right centre wing. Cats swing into attack again. Limner in front. Can't complete the mark. Grinter will do the tidying up work. Ablett dives on top of him. Pushing the back, says the umpire. And that already shaping up as the top duel of the afternoon. Grinter just up from the left back pocket. Dwyer again, ball fisted further forward. Sean White with Stoneham off the ground towards the boundary line. Healy gets around Drum, hooks the ball back to centre wing, and a safe mark taken by Viney.
Viney doing well in the early minutes. High kick, centre half forward, no mark. The ball at the back, a big punch there by Flanagan. Comes to Bruns. Bruns nearly hemmed in, but finds space to get his kick away, and good play by Bruns. Dropping the ball was Cameron. He plays on though, 1 against 2. Now Stretch appears on the scene, and with superior pace, Stephen Stretch breaks away. A magnificent kick finds Steins, and Steins is between wing and half forward. Jimmy Steins, the kick into the half forward area. Spalding can't mark. The ball comes to ground. Opportunity for Road, picked up by Johnson. The kick towards the half forward line, and the mark is taken by the skipper, Greg Healy. So now the boys may have settled down. We might see some footy from now on in. Greg Healy up towards the front of the square. No mark taken. It comes to the back. Oh, Spalding fumbles at the critical stage. Kick off the ground by the Geelong defender. Hocking goes through for a behind to Melbourne. So Melbourne lead. Neither side has scored a goal, and Yates will kick the ball in for Geelong. 2 points to 1 point. Yates goes to the outer side. The high drop punt kick outside 50. Burke attempts to punch the ball on. Gathered by Steins. Good athletic football by the big fellow. The kick towards full forward. Punched away by the Geelong defence. At the bottom of the pack where Rovers should be is Melacallis. The short pass goes wide. Hamilton has the football and kicks Geelong into attack. Up towards half forward. The Geelong fans scream as Gary Ablett swoops on it, but Stoneham's there to help out. The little chip kick. Knocking it over the head was White. Opportunity now for Geelong in their forward line, but a free kick has been picked out of it now, and it'll go back to Rodney Grinter.
Empire's a little technical at the moment. They're trying to keep control.
I guess that's to be expected too. Hamilton centering kick. Stoneham within kicking distance, or certainly on a dry day he would be. One of the, I could say, almost flops of the Cats side last week. They were expecting a lot from Barry Stoneham last week. He was taken out of the game, and again he had a few mates, didn't he? Stoneham 45 out. Going pretty close. Might be our first goal of the day. It is.
Well, he is causing a bit of a problem up there on the half-forward line, Stoner, because of the fact that he's moving around. He's getting away from Jamie Dersma, his immediate opponent. But I also thought on that occasion that Alan Johnson could have done just a little bit more and got over there. But nonetheless, a good kick. And a nice kick off the boot there as he jumped into it. Could have laid back a little bit, but nonetheless, a good shot for goal.
So Barry Stoner putting through the first goal of the game. The Cats off to a good start. First goal kicked by Barry Stoner for Geelong. Geelong leading by 5 points with 15.5 minutes left in the opening term.
Burke gets the tap out. Bruns is well tackled. Coming through strongly, Stretch. Good gather there by Campbell. Hand pass over the top. The ball is at centre half forward. Oh, that could have been a free kick, yes. It's going to Spalding. And Spalding's between centre and centre half forward. He kicks it to within goal scoring distance for the Demons. Now the ball punched away by Wilson. But a good gather now by Flanagan. Flanagan, left foot kick is okay. Finds Bruns on centre wing. Bruns is damaging. Takes plenty of time to steady himself and kick it towards half forward. But Brett Lovett, anticipating well, takes the mark. He's short kick, finds Stretch. And Stretch on the defensive side of centre wing. Kicks it towards half forward, looking for Steins. Steins can't mark, but a free kick has been given away. Geelong supporters not happy. But Jimmy Steins...
Actual fact, Darren Flanagan doing very well on Steins, reminiscent of their first round clash when Flanagan took Steins apart.
Steins kicks it inside 50 metres, nearly a Melbourne mark to Bennett. Opportunity for Newport, hand pass out to Beveridge. Beveridge is kicked to the front of the square. Geelong defenders under pressure. Wilson gathers, hand pass out. Healy, snapshot. Misses to the right.
Well, interesting, Ian. 9 free kicks to Melbourne, 1 to Geelong. Might give you an indication about how Geelong are going about this game.
Tim Darcy, state representative this year for Victoria, after starting the season in the twos. Looking for a lead. Not too much on offer at the moment. He'll go long to the outer side. 55-metre kick. It's all Melbourne. Ball booted back by Newport. Bruns, one of the veterans of the Geelong side. Good hip and shoulder by Burke, who was a fine shepherd. Back up towards centre wing and Johnson, who was in a little bit of trouble earlier after the heavy stuff, but he got up and continues on. Ball out of bounds centre wing.
Melbourne falling down. They're kicking the ball up high to Bennett and Steins, but they're not roving the packs at that full forward position.
And Dwyer at the back, a wrestle with Burke. Whistle on play. And finally a Geelong free kick, 9-2. And still the imbalance that Don pointed out. The skipper for Geelong takes the free to half forward. Big pack of players down there. No one can take the mark. No one actually went for it. Punched away. Viney's kick up towards centre field again. Spalding, good shepherd. Allows Healy to sucker the ball forward. Open space down there on the forward line. Darcy missed it. Wilson off the ground. Soccer technique, should be a goal. Hand pass, Bennett to Steins, through Melbourne's first.
Well, I thought on that occasion, Brian Wilson really didn't go for the ball in a committed effort. When it was at centre half forward, the ball was in no man's land. It was between Wilson and a Geelong player. There is Brian Wilson on screen. And here it is here. There's Darcy running out. Wilson really didn't commit himself, but luck be with him. He got it out. Bennett quickly to Steins. There's really no justice in football because Tim Darcy backed himself.
Melbourne's first goal, kicked by Jim Steins. The Demons lead by 2 points.
The ball in the centre after that centre bounce, and the umpire has picked out a free kick. It'll go to Geelong. It'll be taken by Drum. Still, the Cats have Couch and Bairstow on the bench, which was a sensational opening to the first semi-final. Ablett has the ball in the pocket. Hand pass over the top. Hamilton. Left foot kick by Hamilton to the front of the square. Marking contest. White can't mark. Attempted kick off the ground by O'Dwyer was nearly smothered. The ball still in Geelong's forward area. Kick out by White is marked by Rode. Rode on the 50-metre line. The short kick marked by Melacallis. Tackled by Beveridge. Off by Yates to Bruns. Bruns' kick into the half-forward area. The gather is by Brownless, and a great smother by Johnson, who works overtime in the Melbourne defence, and the ball out of bounds at half-forward for the Cats.
Peter Rode had an opportunity to take Neville Bruns right out of action then, but just hesitated.
Melbourne by 2 points. O'Dwyer. Cameron finds some space for himself, kicks it across the field, and Ablett marks 50 metres from goal. And I think David Cameron summed that up pretty well, because Gary Ablett, a magnificent kick of the football, a chance to score for the Cats. Gary Ablett from 50 metres. Distance, no problems. And accuracy, no worry.
Whenever he is that close to goal, there's always a chance. He'll score, Gary Ablett. Accuracy just the problem. It wasn't on that occasion, but he is a prodigious kick of the football. Interesting battle between he and Grinter. We notice Grinter has got blood coming from his nose. And here is David Cameron breaking and spotting Ablett right on the 50-metre line.
Gary Ablett's first goal and Geelong's second. The Cats again in front, but only by 4 points. Titanic struggle here. Bruns off the ground. Ablett another chance, but he couldn't quite handle it. Grinter, a short kick. Well, that insert has been marked by Yates for Geelong, just short of centre field. He's outside the square. Short pass. And that's effective too. Mark at centre wing by, it was taken for the Cats by Hamilton. Brownless and White out of bounds. And we'll see a boundary throw in. Once again in Geelong's forward pocket.
And playing well, Shane Hamilton.
Just wondering who they're going to swing onto the bench when they bring on the two superstars.
6 kicks and 4 marks.
Obviously won't be him. Not a particularly good throw and didn't come in very far. Socked away by Stretch. Close to the boundary line. Did he keep it in play? Yes, he did, according to the boundary umpire. It wobbles itself towards the 50-metre line. Road gets it in, and Stretch, the unluckiest piece of play all day, out of bounds on the full. Stoneham takes the free kick for Geelong, a bad kick. So I guess that evened out the luck situation. Yates kicks it back whence it came, taken by Johnson. His kick a short one. He's poleaxed after he got rid of the ball. Ball up towards centre field. Schultz, he gets offloaded, might have been in the back.
Lovett and Yates are into it. Yates was the one that dropped Johnson, and Lovett ran up behind and put him in a headlock.
Some players more intent on fighting, and that allows Brownless to take the mark. Now Brownless is an excellent kick. If he gets onto this, he could just about make the distance. He'll be 55 metres out. Look at that kick! A magnificent kick! And just off target, he must have travelled at least 60 metres. So 2-2, Geelong's total. Melbourne 1-3. Malcolm Blight looks on interestedly.
Well, I think he might be a little bit more satisfied with his players' commitment at this stage than, say, 7 days ago.
Reid.
Johnson kicks in towards that outer side, and the ball comes out the back to Campbell with 9.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Over the head of Viney. He's got a chance to run onto it. Shepherding there, done by Spalding, and Viney gathers well outside 50, kicks it up towards the goal square. No mark taken. Bennett dispossessed. Was that an off the ground on the full by Geelong?
It was
I thought
by
it might have come off a Geelong boot, but yes, it is going to the Melbourne player in the pocket, Beveridge. So an opportunity for Melbourne to score, although very, very difficult for Luke Beveridge. He's right up against that fence, really. He runs around, hook kick. Doesn't look too bad. Just misses to the right. So Luke Beveridge kicks a behind for the Demons. The difference is 4 points in favour of Geelong. And Tim Darcy to bring the ball back into play. A little bit of doubt about the kick out towards the outer side. Now he's still going to the outer side. So good defensive work by the Melbourne forwards. The ball goes out towards half-back. Gather now by Viney. Sweeping hand pass over the top to Healy. Off to Spalding. Spalding's left foot kick falls in short. The mark is taken by Steve Hocking. So the Cats have settled down a lot better in this first semi-final than they did against Essendon. He hand passes out wide to Bruns in the opposite back pocket. Bruns' kick out towards the wing. Overrunning it was Campbell. He leaves it alone now to Road. Road has 2 players to beat. Hughes. Road is there again. He does pretty well, Peter Road. Now he runs back into trouble. The gather is now by Boss. Boss's left foot kick towards half forward. Stoneham and Dersma. Stoneham holds on to Dersma, and Dersma will take the free kick for Melbourne at half back.
That was well done by Dersma.
Jamie Dersma. Centering kick. Marked by Steve Newport, who plays on. Tackled by Ablett.
From behind the mark.
Well, he played on, Ian.
Played on.
Up to midfield, where it's getting a little bit muddy now with the Merry Creek soil and the persistent rain. Bruns will boot the ball very quickly by the veteran. There's another one, Johnson, but he missed the mark, or a little bit too low. Malakalis applies the tackle. Could have been in the back. The umpire says play on. Supporters didn't like that. Melbourne in numbers. Phoebe missed it. Chance for stretch. Weight still being used freely at both ends of the field. The ball comes back to Phoebe. Up towards half forward. Buse to Mark Boss. Boss's kick to centre field and a real slider of a mark.
Hamilton.
Doing well. Oh, courage needed there. Bennett picks up the crumbs. He's a long way from goal. Buse at the back, got the climb, didn't get the mark or free kick. Spalding looks for the hand pass. On the run, he'll get it to Newport. Certainly put him under plenty of pressure. Socked away by Bennett again. Wilson may get there first. He does, ducks the tackle, tries to get out the hand pass. The umpire says play on, and Darcy will do just that. He gets it to Malakalis.
Malakalis is kicked round towards the wing. The gather by Viney, who's doing pretty well also. The kick into the forward line. Nearly the mark to O'Dwyer. He has it between his legs. Now he gets the hand pass out. Opportunity for Campbell. Steve Hocking gets it out towards Malakalis. The ball still in Melbourne's forward area, but a free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to Geelong. And Tony Campbell, you would probably feel fairly disappointed.
Gee, that was a good effort by O'Dwyer to race over there. The big fellow not noted for his mobility on the ground, but he hooked that ball out. Good effort, but the free kick gone Geelong way.
Malakalis with the ball in the back pocket. An inclusion in the Geelong side from last week's debacle. And a good mark taken at half-back by Schultz. Schultz gets the hand pass off. It's to Buse. Buse runs through the centre. Kicks towards half-forward. Ablett can't mark. He went up a little too early. Johnson the first to recover. The tap on by Hamilton. Now an opportunity by Bruns. Stretch gathers pretty well and kicks it back in towards the centre. The race is on. The bounce is unfavourable for all players. Ablett nearly took the ball. Lovett kicks it off the ground. Another kick off the ground by Schultz goes wide towards the members' wing, and it'll go over the boundary line for a throw-in very near the players' interchange area. And boy, is there some spirit in this game, Don.
Ian, I don't think it can continue the way it is going. It's developing into a real slogging affair. One side has got a wilt. The one that does could be the loser.
Over the top was Stretch. Hocking. Almost caught with the ball. Great tackle, Beveridge holding the ball, says the umpire. Luke Beveridge to take the free on right centre wing. Still no sign of Bairstow or Couch off the bench either, which is surprising because we've only got 5 minutes and a bit left in this term. Kick to half forward. Steinswood up in front. Couldn't take the mark. Spalding looks for and should get a free kick. Earl Spalding at the right half forward flank, but a long way from goal. And there's the Geelong bench. No change so far. Short pass, a man on his own is Steve Newport, a renowned tagger. So whoever he was minding, he tried to get away. Newport looks for O'Dwyer on a lead and marks. Now O'Dwyer missed with a shot at goal before, but he was well a little bit further out anyway. He's well within kicking distance on this occasion. Steve O'Dwyer. 35 metres out. Oh, that is a shocker. He dropped the ball onto his boot very badly.
You're right, Peter. As soon as he let go of the ball, you could see he wasn't confident in his approach whatsoever.
Tim Darcy has the football and will kick it back in. Again, he'll favour the outer side. Beautiful kick. Big pack of players thumped to the ground by Schultz. Hocking from a standing start. Kicks it only about 30 metres. Brian Wilson, will he get the favourable bounce? But it beats Todd Viney over the boundary line as well. We'll see a throw-in on the outer side, centre wing.
Now only 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter, and Melbourne doing pretty well from the umpires. Drum is well hemmed in. Kicked off the ground by Hamilton. Finishes with Yates. Yates' hand pass. Flanagan nearly caught with the ball, but he gets the hand pass to Stoneham's advantage. Stoneham outside 50, runs inside 50, and goals.
His second.
It was good play then by Geelong. Stephen Phoebe, who jumped up in a valiant attempt on the mark as Stoneham kick should have left his man just that fraction earlier and come up, because here's the build-up. And they've drawn opponents. There's Dersma caught in no man's land, and Stoneham's the man to finish up with the ball. But Phoebe should have left his man a little earlier. He was the man jumping as Stoneham kicked the ball on that occasion.
Geelong by 10 points, close to quarter time. Flanagan doing the ruck work. Kick off the ground by Buse to half forward. Finishes with Ablett. Ablett can't break the Lover tackle. The hand pass goes away. Johnson stump out. Finishes with Grinter. Grinter's kick out towards centre wing. He's dumped behind play, and the ball goes over the boundary line, just forward of centre wing in Melbourne's forward half.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Steins at the back. Oh, actually, Bruns takes it beautifully from the pack. Neville Bruns now at left half forward flank. Hugged the boundary line with a kick. The man in front was Drum. Couldn't take the mark. Road lets it go out of bounds. And it will, in fact, be a throw-in right on the 50-metre mark.
8 kicks to Bruns.
John Kane and Andrew Ramsden. Two of the spectators in shot there. Healy, a little toe poke at it. Only travels about 10 metres. Runs, high tackle. Could have got a free kick. He should have got 2 free kicks. The whistle has gone. It will be brought back by umpire John Russo. Now, play has continued, but it will come back, believe me.
The free kick is for Bruns, and I think John Russo is giving him a bit of a talking to, because the left arm was raised when the Melbourne player came in to tackle him.
Well, there were 2 tackles there. I thought both were deserving of a free kick as John Northey and Frank Adams look on. Stephen Stretch stands the mark. Let's see one of them. And it was the raised arm, I guess you were talking about.
Well, he could have very easily lost it.
Quite so, Don. 2.5 minutes still left in this quarter, which opened sensationally straight after the siren with an all-in. Don't know if any numbers were taken, maybe not. Tempers certainly were high. Bruns's kick inside 50. Huge pack of players. Ablett. Oh, has he come down with that mark? That is an amazing drag.
It is a mark. It's a mark, Pete.
What a
no doubt that he's taken that mark.
But just watch this. This man is simply amazing.
Sensational drag.
That's what the crowd come to see, isn't it?
What a mark.
Stuff like that.
Now, a chance for his second and Geelong's 4th goal. No problem with the distance, the accuracy. We'll wait and see. It's about a 45-degree angle. Might even be about 50 or 60 degrees. He's hooked it slightly for one behind. He won't be happy with that. So Gary Ablett 1 goal 1. Malcolm Blight bites the nails. 3-3 to 1-4. 11 points the difference. Johnson prepares to kick in. Johnson
goes to the outer side. 2-on-2 out there. Yates high over the top. Thumps it back towards the 50-metre line. Gathered by Newport. A poor hand pass, but he goes after it again. Now gets the hand pass back towards Road. Road out towards Dersma. Oh, flashing on the scene, Hamilton there, but the player was Ablett, who crashed through. Drum finishes with the ball, but there's been a free kick picked out of it, and it's going back to the Melbourne centre half-back, Jamie Dersma. Gary Ablett doing well, minding the mark. Dersma, with just seconds left in this first quarter, the ball goes over the top to Viney. Can Melbourne score from this foray? Tony Campbell. The short kick towards full forward. No mark taken. The ball comes over the back. Now the Geelong defence. Hockey. Beautifully tackled by Beveridge. Melakalis on the goal line takes it through for a rush behind to the Demons. And there's only half a minute left in this first quarter. So Melbourne had a real chance there. Darcy brings the ball back into play and comes to the members' side. And Bruns, a prolific kick gatherer in this first quarter, coming up for kick number 10.
Neville Bruns, left half-back flank, kicks it to centre wing. He had 2 options there. The mark taken by Schultz. Don't know that there's any time for further scoring. The Cats with a useful lead under these conditions. With the first change just about imminent. There's a free kick paid by the umpire. It'll go to Jamie Dersma. And there is the siren for quarter time. A sensational start to the first semi with it all in. Geelong leading at the change, 3-3 to 1-5 at the MCG. second quarter of the 89 first semi-final between Geelong and Melbourne. 10 points the difference in favour of the Cats. 3-3 to 1-5 after a torrid opening here. Dwyer and Burke neither gets a decisive tap away from the circle. A different opening to the first quarter, certainly. Spalding's kick is short, that was touched off the boot, actually. Opportunity for Phoebe. Right on 50. Will he get Melbourne's second goal? The distance will be pretty right.
No.
Beveridge is marked.
Free kick behind play. It was just like Antipas yesterday. Tony Campbell taking out Neville Bruns as Phoebe went for goal. I mean, this is stupid play. Tony Antipas pinged yesterday as Michael Long went into goal, and now Campbell has been done exactly the same thing too by the umpire as Phoebe had a shot.
I wonder if John Northey will apply the same punishment.
See there, and a lot that is coming into the game a lot now, Peter. The fact that when players drop their arms, they lay down misères for players running in the opposite way. It's not a good sign.
Also, I guess you'd have to call it fairly unnecessary. Boss's kick off out, but he took a screamer in the first quarter, not quite there on this occasion. Hocking breaks clear. The Geelong player got a nice old whack behind the ear too. Ball up towards midfield. It's becoming pretty solid again. Steins overruns it. 3 Geelong players at the fall of the ball, which is still to be picked up. Free kick.
And with Melbourne have been sucked in here in the early minutes, Pete.
Actually,
Certainly
this
been
is
sucked
stupid
in.
because I can see Geelong players taking their eye off the ball. Now, Flanagan, although he's not in that, did not have any eyes at all for the ball. He was going for Steins. And these Geelong players still intent on headhunting.
And Melbourne being sucked in.
My word, Ian.
Tony Campbell in the thick of things as he was before.
And Neville Bruns not too good. He was the bloke that Campbell cleaned up earlier. The doctor and the runner still with him.
And Yates takes the kick, but I think it's going to have to be returned.
And actually, there's a report out there too. The umpire
He's writing something in the
is
book.
writing something in the book. He's taken Campbell's number and also Yates.
I would say Campbell for Yates.
There was a few fists being swung in that little melee, and Bruns coming off the ground. Neville Bruns off the ground, so he's not too good. Now, he picked up a lot of possessions, 10 kicks in the first quarter. It was a real match winner on the wing for Geelong, so he'll be missed, but he's being replaced by Bairstow.
One of the favourites for the Brownlow medal.
Kick's going the other way to Melbourne by the look of it. No, it's being bounced.
It's a ball up. Dwyer and Flanagan, the 2 redheads, resume their battle. Ball fisted down towards Phoebe. Campbell and Bairstow in the thick of things already. Campbell off the ground. And the whistle has gone again.
And the umpire's going to be very technical from here on because he's going to gain control or try and regain some control. And that, again, was a Tiggy Touchwood free kick. But Campbell, who's been in the action early in this first quarter, receiving it, second quarter receiving it.
Campbell's kick towards centre half forward. Nice looking drop punt. Big punch away by the Geelong defence. Thumped by Healy up towards half forward. Gathered by Beveridge. Left foot snap by Beveridge. Is through for another behind. So Melbourne having no luck with their snapshots, but still not too far away on the scoreboard. Geelong lead by 9 points. And Michael Roberts has a view on Neville Bruns.
Yes, Neville Bruns came off the ground. He's been dry reaching, but he's holding his jaw. I would say that he's suffering from concussion.
The kick in goes to Gary Hocking. Gary Hocking at half back. Kick towards centre wing. There's no one home for Geelong. Yates is the first there, and he slips as he gathers the ball. And Campbell and Yates having a little bit of a to-do, and I guess that's connected with the Campbell tackle on Bruns a little bit earlier in the quarter. The ball goes over the back from the throw-in. Love it. Gets the hand pass out to Dersma. Dersma's kick towards half forward. Gathered now by Steve Hocking. Can't control the football. Melakalis, a short left foot kick in towards the centre. Gather now by Bairstow, who's on the ground, and good to see Mark Bairstow, a great kick gatherer all the year. The ball at the front of the pack. Melakalis swoops on it. Hand pass over the top. Opportunity for Yates. Oh, he's nearly tripped by Dersma, but Yates goes on with it towards the 50-metre line. Yates goes for goal. Nearly the mark. Now it comes out the back to Glitter. Rebound football because Phoebe's on his own. Out on that outer wing. The bounce favours Stephen Phoebe. He has one bounce. Runs up towards the wing and kicks Melbourne up towards the 50-metre line. No mark to Spalding. Opportunity for Wilson at the fall of the ball. He gets the hand pass back to Phoebe. Good play by Melbourne. The short pass finishes with Steins on the 50-metre line. Jimmy Steins now kicks Melbourne up towards the goal square. Spalding, it comes to the back. It's punched through. Oh, Beveridge must have licked his lips there. And the ball through for a behind to Melbourne.
Now this game wide open now for any player that wants to put his eyes on the ball and go and get the ball, because the players are going for the man, not the ball. So the fellow who has got the courage and commitment will finish up with the ball now.
3-3 to 1-7. Mark taken by Hocking in front of Beveridge. Hocking just up from the back pocket. 21 3/4 minutes left in the second term. Looks like Wales has started in a torrid fashion, as did the first. Hughes and Boss. Moss keeps Healy at bay, down towards half forward. Drum almost the mark, not played by the umpire. Hand pass comes out to Gwynter, who's doing right. Great battle with Ablett so far. Gwynter streaming out of the fence, knock on by Hocking. Beveridge, fresh air shot. Leaves it for Darcy. Back towards centre wing, and the mark to Hamilton. A little bit short of centre wing. Still in Geelong's defensive zone. Back towards centre wing, and Dersma out. Dersma out of bounds. The ball stays in. Only momentarily, perhaps, as Lovett cops a high one. That'll be a free kick.
That's what I mean. Plenty of loose balls for guys prepared to keep their eye on the ball. Lovett took his eye off the ball, but Bairstow came through and also took his eye off the ball.
A play on call. Lovett does. The target was Spalding. Ball fisted well clear of him. Should be picked up by Newport. Farms out the hand pass well. On the run is Rhodes, still inside the square. Hocking runs at him. Oh, that was a little bit unnecessary. If that wasn't a trip, I'll go he.
Actually, Hocking's given away more free kicks than anybody else in the league, and that's the report for kicking.
Peter Rhodes still limping, and no wonder at that. That was totally unnecessary. And I would say that ankle would be very, very sore. Ricky Jackson warming up. Obviously, the coach feels that Peter Rhodes might have to come off. So 2 reports at least so far. There may be more after the all-in in the first quarter. So it's going to be a busy night at the VFL Tribunal tomorrow night, isn't it? Bennett almost. Darcy. Wilson at the fall of the ball. Well shepherded. Racing towards the boundary line. Steins couldn't quite pick it up. And it'll be a throw-in 2 metres from the behind post. Melbourne's right forward pocket. John Northey goes for the phone. Obviously checking the condition perhaps of Peter Rhodes if he can.
I think Beveridge might be the man coming off for Jackson.
Maybe he's not as bad as we thought then, Don. Knocked down by Steins. Hughes does it beautifully to Bairstow. Good to see him on the ground. Backup support again from Hughes. The Cats out of danger up the centre field.
Malakalis was the kicker ball. The ball went up towards the centre wing. Free kick being picked out of it to Stoneham. It's against Dersma. Stoneham's kick into the forward pocket. Ablett. Oh! How do you describe that?
Brilliant.
Miraculous stuff by Gary Ablett.
He's a master at that. I've seen him do that on countless occasions. He's got tremendous upper body strength. And just watch here. 2 players lock arms. There it is, the locking of arms. He's just got tremendous upper body strength.
Beveridge off and Jackson on, as was forecast just a few minutes earlier. Ablett goes for goal. Magnificent kick.
Second goal to Ablett.
And he's doing it well, Gary Ablett. And Geelong being rewarded when they go down forward. You've got to get the score on the board. Melbourne are not doing that. They've gone down as many times into their forward line as what Geelong have, but haven't been rewarded by the players kicking goals. Now, Geelong, they haven't been down on the forward line this quarter, but this is the first time. And it's Ablett who does do the rewarding for the work done further up the field.
4-3 to 1-7 now. 2 to Ablett, 2 to Stoneham. Goal kickers for Geelong. O'Dwyer trying to get clear for Melbourne and doing it well as Todd Viney. The Demons badly need a goal. They've been inaccurate. Bennett marks, or has he dropped it? No, he's played it. And Bennett within kicking distance. That won't be a problem for him, this West Australian.
They need to convert, Pete.
Conversion rate's not good, is it? 1-5 at the end of the first quarter, now 1-7. Darren Bennett, formerly of the West Coast Eagles, gets the distance. And the accuracy, no.
See, the goal umpire hardly moved.
And Bennett didn't move as well, and I thought it was the late Emmers there for a goal on that occasion.
By Roger Selwood, pretty certain about that. So Tim Darcy to kick in. Melbourne's tally moves to 1 goal, 8. And the adage bad kicking is bad football, I guess, is soon to become applicable. to the outer side. Spalding, the flyer, great mark over Schultz. Gets the hand pass away. The recipient is Newport, tries the spiral punt. A magnificent kick from Newport. Look at that, he's stopped it. Great goal.
Now watch on this occasion when Spalding gets it, he plays on quickly, and I hope we've got a shot of how Gary Hocking did not put himself into the action and let Newport run away. Now here we go again. Watch this, a great mark. He gets up, Newport, watch him quickly. And there, look at Hocking on the right of screen there, did not put himself in at all.
Love to see those kick the spiral.
Just what Melbourne needed, though.
Back into the centre, great goal kick by Newport, knocked away by O'Dwyer, 7 points the difference.
Healy's kick out of the centre. Now the race is on between Melacallis and Jackson. Melacallis gathers with 18 minutes left in the second term. Kicks it back into the centre. O'Dwyer, Burke. The ball runs free road. Now a free kick to Burke. O'Dwyer hanging on, and umpire Russo in a magnificent position.
There's nobody on Burke's mark either, so there's Melbourne. A little bit of lack of discipline.
Burke runs up and kicks the torpedo punt kick towards full forward. A big punch by the Demon defence. Finishes with Healy. Healy's kick back in towards the centre, and Burke marks unopposed. Gets the hand pass off. Now Boss up towards full forward. In front O'Dwyer. Gather now by Cameron. Gets the hand pass to Hamilton. Hamilton's well scragged. He still has the football underneath him, Shane Hamilton. And Rodney Grinter there for Melbourne comes up with the ball. Umpire will bounce in the right forward pocket for Geelong and Malcolm Blight. Some anxious moments ahead because this is a do-or-die semi-final. The loser is out of the finals race.
O'Dwyer and Burke having a great battle. Burke won that one. Ablett tries to beat 3 of them. Finally soccers it off the ground towards the square. Brownless' snapshot well smothered. Here's a chance. David Cameron has got it.
That was well done then by Cameron. Also a good effort by Brownless. You've got to get in front in tight games such as this, because the ball's just going to spill out as it did on that occasion when there's real pressure. And you go back to the old adage of playing in front. It's never more applicable in finals times. Look at Ablett. All he can do is kick the ball off the ground. There he is in front, Brownless. He couldn't get his kick. And well done by David Cameron. He's been a prolific goal kicker when playing in the forward pocket.
Campbell off and Yates on for Melbourne. 13 points the difference after that goal kick by David Cameron down to half forward. Ablett again, creating opportunities. 25 metres out, 10 metres out, and beats it. 3 goals to Gary Ablett, 19 points the difference.
And the signs not good for Melbourne. Not good at all the way they got the ball out of the centre there on that occasion. It was Flanagan quickly down the centre. Ablett well blocked and shepherded here by Cameron on Grinter.
Having a great deal, those two.
Well, Gary Ablett, we know he's a super player, and he's just proving that halfway through this second quarter in the first semi-final. Kicked by Viney from the centre circle out towards the members' wing. Jackson, the bounce favours him, and with his left hand taps it on in front of himself, gets the hand pass back. Lovett at half-back, kicks it towards the wing, and Wilson takes the mark on his chest in front of Steve Hocking. Wilson's short pass is a shocker. Out of bounds on the full in front of Todd Viney, so the free kick will go to Melacallis. The 2 number 12s, Melacallis and Todd Viney. Melacallis kicks the ball in towards the centre. No mark, it comes through the back of all players, Bairstow and Newport. Newport obviously given instructions now to pick up Mark Bairstow, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
Graham Yates on for Melbourne. He started on his change.
Tony Campbell, the Melbourne player who went off the field. Steins beaten for it. Hocking, that's Gary Hocking, tries to tap it forward. Yates now gets it out to the advantage of Newport. The hand pass further afield, but Buse, the desperado for Geelong, gets the kick across his body, and it's great. It finds Bairstow on centre wing. Bairstow's a loose player up on half forward. It's Stoneham. Stoneham runs onto the ball, kicks it into the pocket. It's a great kick too. It finds Lindner for his first touch of the match. Lindner allowed to play on. Left foot snap by Lindner. Misses to the left.
It's 6-4 to 2-8. 40 plays 20. Johnson to kick in. Melbourne not out of this match by any stretch of the imagination, but Geelong looking the goods at the moment. The Cats have moved up a gear like Hawthorn did in the second quarter yesterday. It's a good mark taken by Yates. Kick back for the Cats by Bairstow. Stoneham. There's a winning kick, 2 goals. Has a chance to make it 3, and Geelong hitting a purple patch at the moment. Barry Stoneham down last week, up today. And Dersma completely misread that. So Stoneham directly in front and gets it.
Well, things not looking good for the Melbourne side. That's his 3rd goal, Barry Stoneham. And Dersma going off the ground, and Campbell now coming on. I don't know why that is. Maybe because they believe that he was caught in no man's land earlier, Dersma. But really, that was no fault of his. He was taking position, but it was the momentum of Stoneham coming through that just edged Dersma out of the way for a very good mark by Barry Stoneham.
3 goals to Barry Stoneham. Geelong go further ahead. The Cats by 26 points with 14 minutes left in the half.
Great bounce back in the centre. Gather by Viney. The hand pass out wide. Opportunity for Steins. A good gather by the big fellow. And he kicks Melbourne up towards centre half forward. Touched by Steve Hocking. Darcy gathers. Greg Healy interfering with Darcy in his endeavours to get the football. Gives away the free kick to the Geelong defender. See, they're fired up, the Cats. Darcy now towards the members' side of the ground, just wide of the centre. Great mark, Stoneham. He's in form. Off to Malachellis. Malachellis, a high kick towards half forward. Not really to his forward's advantage. Lindner, Stretch gathers the ball, kicks it back towards centre wing.
Downfield.
Downfield, the free kick has been paid. Now the advantage. Lovett from a free kick downfield. Handballs. Don't believe it. Viney's kick towards half forward. Nearly a Melbourne mark to Spalding. He's knocked out of the play, and the ball at half forward is left in the charge of John Russo. He calls for a bounce. An oversight by the umpire. Geelong's marks 23-14 in the first term, 12-4 in the second term. Steins tries to get it back to Yates. The ball, Gary Hocking now off to Boss. Boss's kick towards centre wing. Marking contest between the 2 big fellows, O'Dwyer and Burke. O'Dwyer looking for the free kick. Play goes on. Stoner to half forward. Lindner drops a sitter. Stretch is held, but he didn't have it. And Stretch will take the free kick for Melbourne at half back.
Signs not good for Melbourne. Geelong have got more players at the fall of the ball and wanting the ball.
Phoebe takes the kick from Stretch. No one upfield moving at all. So Phoebe forced to kick a high one towards half forward. Spalding, O'Dwyer. The ball comes out wide to Yates. He ducks his head, but he gets the hand pass off to Boss. The Geelong defence standing up pretty well. Boss's kick. Ablett runs onto it. And there's the man who's the difference at the moment, Gary Ablett. What a player. Gary Ablett goes for goal. The long drop punt kick marked by White, but it's over the line, through for a behind to Geelong.
That was a massive kick by Ablett on that occasion, although it was only a point. Must have travelled every bit of 65 metres.
So effectively 5 goals, 27 points the difference. Lovett from the right half-back flank. Melbourne need a couple of goals and they need them quickly. Ricky Jackson, can he provide some drive? Stretch will give him the hand pass. Jackson started on the bench. He's on right centre wing. Kicks it over the head of Schultz. Looks for Steins. Finds him. Attention by Flanagan. Is that 50? Gee, it must have been close to it. Steins plays on and gets caught, but umpire John Russo has blown the whistle.
Well, that should be 50, surely.
Well, if Drum had come over the mark, yes, it should be done. Otherwise, it was holding the ball.
Or play on. Yeah, my word.
Steins. And players running every which way. Geelong's defence standing firm. Hughes, well shepherded. Victorian representative, kick still inside defensive 50. Towards the centre wing position. Stoneham was high, couldn't take the grab. Lovett, a short pass, and that's effective. Mark taken by skipper Greg Healy, who turns on a threepenny bit. Slight altercation on the centre wing position. That is a high tackle.
He should have zagged when he zigged on that occasion.
I don't think he had much chance of getting out of that at all, Don.
It was a send, wasn't it? Now, he could kick this. Remember the spiral punt about 5 minutes ago? Newport decides to go for the drop punt and a pass. He's looking for Bennett on a lead. Couldn't take it. Flanagan. A little chip pass. And the mark was taken for the catch by Bairstow. Short again. Hocking, who had his number taken by the umpire for an indiscretion. Gary Ablett. Starring. Peter McKenna likes the word brilliant. It fits today. Oh, almost a juggled mark taken by Linda, who's been fairly quiet. Good tackle by Stoneham on White. The ball out of bounds. It'll be thrown in.
Great play by the forward there to keep the ball in the Geelong scoring area.
The Demons rattled at the moment. Can they come back? And trailed effectively by 5 goals. O'Dwyer at the back had a fresh air shot and picked up by Grinter. Melbourne out of danger.
Grinter back into the centre. Didn't look. Oh, it went straight through Boss. At the back, Flanagan, hand pass over the top. Now the ball fortunately finishes with Boss again. Boss towards half forward. A great effort by Lovett to back into the pack, and he'll get Melbourne out of trouble. His vision was good because he spotted Newport wide on centre wing or half back. Newport's kick up towards the centre wing proper. Running onto it is Yates. The bounce, oh, a little fickle there for Graham Yates. Flanagan over the top. Play on, says the umpire. All players looking for free kicks. Bairstow swoops on the loose ball and runs round the Melbourne player. Onto the right foot goes Bairstow, up towards half forward, but a good mark taken by Phoebe. He plays on, umpire allows it. Stoneham goes for goal and misses to the right. Bad miss, Barry Stoneham.
11 possessions, Ian.
I think you could term Melbourne as pathetic at the moment. Some pathetic efforts out there.
Well, a little bit of bad luck for Yates out on that centre wing. The kick in is by Viney towards the members' side. Lovett breaks the tackle, gets the hand pass, sweeping towards Grinter, but O'Dwyer chips in. Wilson, they've got to make something of this because they have the ball with plenty of metres to spare. Phoebe towards centre half forward. Bennett runs onto it and takes the mark. When you've got the loose ball, Don, you certainly have to take advantage of it.
And Darren Bennett will score from this, whether it's a major or a minor is yet to be seen, but he'll definitely score.
40 metres out directly in front. Bennett's drop punt kick. Misses to the right. 2 behinds to Darren Bennett. And Melbourne, 11 scoring shots to 13, trail by 27 points.
They kicked 1-5 in the first quarter, and so far they've added 1-4 in.
He's not the most accurate kick, Darren Bennett. That's his 30th point. He's kicked 32 goals for the season and 30 points.
So about a 50% conversion rate, Don. Meant to do better than that. 8 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in this half. Spalding was the flyer. Got one in the nose for his trouble. Nothing for it from the umpire. Hamilton takes the hand pass. Good tackle by Stephen Stretch. Campbell in front. Stoneham behind. Campbell, well tackled by Hamilton. Loose ball for White. He's been fairly quiet so far. White from the left half-back flank. Wobbly kick off the boot. The mark taken by Healy.
Now Phoebe picking up Ablett. Grinter has gone on to Yates.
There's Grinter. Not too many options for him there.
Did pretty well, Pete, in the finish, didn't he?
Wasn't anything at all. So, Rob Grinter, certainly in the thick of things so far today, on Gary Ablett in the first quarter and parts of the second. Steins jockeying for the front position with Flanagan. Neither ruckman really effective there. Wilson's hand pass to Jackson. Wilson, snapshot, off target again. Almost predictably from Melbourne so far. Wilson looks disgusted. 7-6 to 2-10, so 12 effective scoring shots from Melbourne, 13 from Geelong, and the difference is 26 points. 7 minutes left in the half. Melbourne need 3 goals, one would think, before the bell. Hamilton marking just up from full-back. Lovett stands the mark. He's gone for the spiral punt kick, didn't quite get onto it. Does come up towards centre field. Is that a free kick? Umpire says yes. Bairstow will take it for on the shoulder. Spent the entire first quarter on the bench, to the surprise of just about everybody. That's a fine mark of Brownless. Dumps Sean White in the process, decides to play on. Then he runs into the umpire, runs his full distance. Not a good kick, though, by Brownless. And Newport kicks the ball back up towards centre wing. Lovett. Newport inside the square. Brownless, long way from goal. Down to half forward, knocked down by Spalding. O'Dwyer on the run. 20-metre hand pass. That was effective. Now this should be a goal. Grinter takes the tap on. Melbourne's third, long overdue.
Well, you can take your hats off on that occasion to Earl Spalding. That's what I mean about a player keeping his eye on the ball. The opportunities are there. Now, he won't receive the pats on the back. Not one player has gone out to him, but it was a mere fact that he really took the bit between his teeth. He got the ball down initially. It was good play there by O'Dwyer. Bennett involved as well. I don't like that open-handed passing across. He should have grabbed it, but nonetheless, very well finished off by Grinter.
Good tap down by Bennett to Grinter. Grinter's first goal, Melbourne's third, under 6 minutes left in the quarter.
I'll tell you what, Melbourne, they'll still be there at the finish. I've got great faith in this demon lineup. O'Dwyer can't get that hand of the ball. It comes to Newport, struggles for possession, but he taps it on towards half forward. Jackson looking to swoop on the ball. Yates is there, does the tackling. Boss tidies up for Geelong, and Boss at half back with the left foot pass. Chipping in well, Campbell, he drops a sitter, plays it on in front of himself on centre wing. Great dispossession work there by Stonen. Magnificent football by the Geelong centre half forward. It goes up towards Cameron. He runs past and he gets the hand pass further afield to Brownless. Brownless fumbling. The ball now at half forward. It's kicked off the ground by Cameron through for a behind to the Cats.
Melbourne will not go and meet the ball. Tony Campbell, terrific effort out there and well done by Stonen, but Phoebe could have gone and met the ball on the full back line on that occasion.
Viney kicks the ball towards the members' side. Ablett's there on his own. Don't believe it. And Gary Ablett can score from here. Gets onto a torpedo, anything can happen. It slips off the side of his boot into the pocket. Nearly the mark to Viney. Look, 2-on-1. Todd Viney does it pretty well, though. Kicks it back towards halfback. Punch away by Burke. Jackson's not onto it. Lindner is. Off to Yates. Yates goes for goal. And misses to the left. Bad miss there by Yates. Perhaps a little excited at getting through all that Melbourne traffic. And there's the scoreboard. 50 plays 28. We've got 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
You get through Melbourne traffic, you deserve a medal, Ian, don't you? Kick out into the square. O'Dwyer goes for the palm on, picked up by Yates, who started on the bench. Back to centre. Spalding couldn't quite handle it. Newport went to soccer it off the ground. It allows Hamilton to go for the pickup. On to Hocking. He turned on to Bairstow. Bairstow just wide of the centre circle. A short pass looking for Gary Ablett. Couldn't find him. Love it. Well tackled. Umpire's given a free kick. It's going Geelong's way.
Damien Drum doesn't look too good behind plays in the hands of both trainers. Just broken away now. He looks pretty sick and sorry for himself.
Ablett a little bit further out than when he had that similar shot and went for a spiral punt. This time he's gone for a short pass, and it's not a particularly good one. Lindner grabbed with the ball.
Oh, rubbish! Unbelievable.
Well, the hand did finish up there, Ian. It didn't
He
start.
tried to crash his way through, Don.
Newport takes the free. Ian Robertson obviously not impressed. And it will be close to out of bounds unless Stephen Stretch can pick it up, which he can. Beautifully done. Stretch, a short pass, and he finds Grinter. He's certainly giving everything for Melbourne this afternoon. 3 minutes 20 seconds left in this term. Over the head of Healy and O'Dwyer. Wilson, Melbourne's best chance. Couldn't get the hand pass away, and it'll be thrown back into play. Good block that time from Stephen Hocking.
If I can quickly apologise, I thought the umpire was awarding the free kick.
Well, he did
to
signal.
Lindner.
He did signal around the neck.
That's
he
right.
did signal around the neck.
Sorry, I thought he was doing that.
7-8 to 3-10. That will be a free kick with it. It's going to be taken by O'Dwyer. And as you can see, and that shot a long way from goal. O'Dwyer with a centering kick. Here, outmarked by the taller, or Hughes it was. He got the spring. Hamilton goes for the hand pass to Darcy, and here come the Cats.
Darcy's hand pass is well smothered by Bennett. The ball's still in Melbourne's forward half. Darcy, now he gets the hand pass back to Hamilton. It's too far. Melbourne, can they get something out of this? No, Steins can't quite gather the ball. Boss gets a quick kick up towards the centre wing area. Stoneham overruns it. Kick off the ground by Cameron. The ball up towards half forward. Yates runs onto the loose ball pretty well, Mark Yates. The left foot kick, he looked for Ablett. It was well smothered. Road gets the hand pass wide, but can't control it.
And Phoebe's been cleaned up. Bairstow ran through him.
The ball on half forward for Geelong. The boundary throw in. Jackson dispossessed by Cameron. Cameron swings around, kicks it towards half forward. Nearly a Geelong mark. Viney knocks it away. The ball comes out wide to White. White to Viney. Now Melbourne have got to make something of this. They're in the centre with 2-on-1. Healy towards full forward with a spiral punt kick. It goes over. No! Great Mark Bennett! Well, I was calling it going over the top. Bennett threw his arms out. I would have agreed. And at third slip, Darren Bennett has taken the best catch you've ever seen.
Watch this. This is incredible. It looked as if it was sailing right over the two players' heads, but he just stuck his arms out and it stuck.
Well, let's hope he can capitalise. Darren Bennett is only 20 metres from goal directly in front, and Melbourne desperately need a goal. And Bennett misses. Shocking miss.
3 points for the game.
3 on 11 there totally, and that's not great.
Well, 14 scoring shots to 15, and they trail badly. Darcy kicks the ball in and finds Hamilton. A minute left in this first half, and Hamilton runs away from half back for Geelong. Kicks it towards centre wing. No mark taken. It comes through the back. Road gets the hand pass off, stretches an opportunity, overruns it. Stoneham swoops on the ball and gathers pretty well, Barry Stoneham. Sweeping hand pass, looks for Bairstow. Bairstow finds a bit of space. A long 25-metre hand pass to Burke. Burke to the advantage of Buse. Buse up towards half forward. Thumps it. Ablett at the back will mark and goal.
4 goals to Ablett.
And the beauty and the benefit of playing that long kick into the forward line. It was Buse on that occasion, put it in the direction of goal. Ablett knew it was going there, ran into the space. Great play by the Geelong team. They can do no wrong at this stage. Burke involved, a long handball. And that's a magnificent kick there by the little fellow. And Ablett finishing off with his fourth.
Half a minute left in the half, 56 to 29. Buse again, can he get it to Ablett once more? A short pass. Overrunning it, Melakalis. Ball booted away by Rowe. Yates dispossessed pretty handsomely too by Stephen Stretch. Umpire says throw it in. Yates looks for the free kick. Stretch is going to take a free. No, he's not. He'll go down in the books perhaps as a free, but he won't be able to do much with it because at half-time Geelong have a handy lead. 8-8, 56 to Melbourne, 3-11, 29. 27 points is the difference. Second half from the MCG of the first semi-final. The Cats leading by 27 points as we begin the third term. The rain has stopped. O'Dwyer, a massive leap. Gets the ball down to Healy. First kick of the half. The Melbourne captains kick out towards left half forward. Jackson now in the short sleeve jersey. Gets around Melakalis. It might have been touched off the boot. Steins, inboard hand pass to Newport. It was pretty well pinned. A hurried hand pass from him. Lands in the arms of Hocking. And Hocking's kick over the boundary line in front of Yates for a boundary throw.
A lot of positional changes made by Melbourne. Now Johnson up in the forward line. Grinner has gone back into the back pocket. Viney in the back pocket. We'll try and pick up the numerous other changes as well. Campbell back on the forward line.
And interestingly, Couch still on the bench for Geelong. Wilson, knock on. Back to Hocking again. Wilson rides him into the ground. Johnson on the end of a hand pass. Be a valuable goal if he can get it for Melbourne. But he can't. Once again, the Demons are off target. 3 goals, 12 is Melbourne's total. They trail by 26 points, but still in this match, I feel.
Peter, they started the second term like that too, kicking 2 or 3 behind straight.
Darcy, short. Darcy takes the hand pass again from Stephen Hocking. And the Cats run the ball well.
Darcy's kick out towards centre wing, and Burke, who's pretty serious about this game, Damien Burke, takes the mark in front of O'Dwyer. Burke's kick towards half forward. Punched by Dersma from behind, close to the boundary line. Attempted kick off the ground there by Drum. Gathered by Yates. Is good play by Melbourne at half back. Yates' a short chip pass. Looks for the captain, Healy, on centre wing. Just a little hesitant, Greg Healy. Couldn't control the football. Obviously still a little slippery. and it goes over the boundary line on centre wing out of side. Damien Burke and Steve O'Dwyer. Great contest in the first half. Wilson goes down to Healy. The kick is gathered by Gary Hocking. Gary Hocking's kick towards half forward. Stoneham can't mark. Love it. Coming through Drum, but a free kick has been picked out of it. It'll go to Melbourne to be taken at half back by Dersma, perhaps being held by Stoneham. Dersma kicking towards the centre. Newport pushes the ball further forward. Wilson, but Spalding gathers, gets the hand pass wide. White, who's come up from defence, spills an easy one, gets past, or tries to duck his head, gets it back to Steins, and Geelong with numbers get out of trouble. Boss goes to Flanagan, off to Bairstow. Bairstow now kicks it towards full forward. The ball at the back. Grinter gathers it pretty well. The left foot kick by Grinter goes wide to half back, and Yates fumbles an easy one. Yates' little left foot chip finds O'Dwyer at half back proper. O'Dwyer looking to play on. No one to kick it to, really. Wide is Johnson, and Johnson swoops on that ball, takes the mark, handballs over the top to Healy. Back it goes to Johnson. Johnson over the top. Newport running onto it at half forward, but Steve Hocking chips in, gets it off to Bairstow. Bairstow's kick towards half forward is marked by Stoneham.
Gee, that was great play by Hocking, the way he burst through on that occasion.
Stoneham doing well. He's kicked 3 goals so far. Still inside the square. Let's go on that one. Big pack of players. None can take the mark. Grinter farms out the hand pass. Picked up by Viney. Phoebe it was. Stretch it is now from right half-back flank. Short pass up to the centre wing position to the run of Newport. Had to get rid of that pretty quickly. The ball stops. Some soccer work from Stretch again. Spalding to the boundary line. It's socket over.
Gee, you've got to give credit to Geelong when it gets on that half-forward line from Melbourne. They've got the numbers there.
On centre wing, Burke and O'Dwyer. One by Burke. Down to Hocking. Hand pass is effective. Bairstow takes it from Stephen Hocking. Away he goes. Linda on a lead. Hocking again. Back it comes to Cameron. Gives it to the brilliant Ablett. Left foot snapshot is off target and through for only 1 behind. He's already kicked 4 goals though, Gary Ablett. 11 kicks, 2 hand passes, 7 marks, and gets up looking a little bit proppy on one leg. Paul Couch onto the ground for the first time today, after spending the first half on the bench. The first half in about a minute or so as well. Grinter to the member stand side. That's a good kick. In front was Spalding. Couldn't quite complete the mark. And umpire John Russo has decided on the obvious bounce about 55 metres out from goal. And senses that if the Cats can get the next 2 goals, Melbourne will be just about shut out. This is Couch, after it was knocked away by Stretch. He breaks the tackle from that player. Bairstow gives it over to Couch again. Two of the favourites for the Brownlow medal. This is Hamilton. A centering kick. Linda should get there, gathers it well. He's been fairly quiet today. White's tackle. Healy takes possession. Melbourne get out of danger.
And Melbourne could make something of it. O'Dwyer's crashed to the ground. It's got to be a free kick. It's been paid relay. Healy's on the end of it. Hand pass to Wilson. Steins is on his own at centre half forward. The kick falls a little short. Steins has crashed in the back. The umpire lets play go on. The ball's still at half forward. Spalding fumbles badly. At centre half forward, Earl Spalding struggling for possession. Jackson and Malakalis. The ball is still there. Jackson kick off the ground. Campbell attempted kick off the ground. Gathered by Jackson, well tackled. The ball still at right in that forward pocket area for Melbourne. Kick out by Boss, and the mark will be taken by O'Dwyer between wing and half forward for Melbourne.
Those backs are putting a lot of pressure on the Geelong backs. Melbourne are fumbling up forward.
O'Dwyer's kick is marked strongly by Steins at centre half forward. Flanagan a little disappointed with himself. Now, can Jimmy Steins kick the distance? He's going for the short pass into the pocket, looking for Bennett, and Bennett marks.
Bennett's kicked 3 behinds, Ian. You wouldn't bet on him so far, would you?
I think his confidence could be very low, but still, let's give the man a chance. Darren Bennett. Pretty good mark.
Excellent mark.
And he kicks from 25. And he kicks a goal.
Well, the Melbourne supporters will say it's about time. His first goal, Darren Bennett. after 3 previous attempts, which resulted in points. But a little sure in handling the ball on that occasion. But when the pressure is on that forward back line, Geelong's backmen really do put the pressure on the Melbourne forwards. They're fumbling. But on that occasion, it was a clean mark to Steins and also a clean mark to Bennett.
One goal, 3 now, the tally to Darren Bennett. 21 points the difference. Are the Demons on the way back? They've certainly tried hard, but so far they haven't been able to make any impression in this tough Geelong combination. Down to half forward, Stonham's been a star. And takes another excellent mark. Short pass, and that was bad checking. Paul Couch, who's only just come onto the ground, has the opportunity for the very, very quick reply.
And Peter, Bruce Linder is off the ground, Damien Drum back on.
Paul Couch kicking just inside 50. Not a bad sort of a kick. That looks pretty good. It's a goal.
Well, that's the answer that Geelong wants. Soul destroying for Melbourne, because it looked as if they might start and claw their way back into the game. But when a side does that, what Geelong just did through that goal from Couch, it really does destroy, because you work hard and then the opposition take it down so easily and score. A great goal by Couch, who's just come onto the ground.
4 goals to Ablett, 3 to Stoneham, singles to David Cameron, and now Couch. Back into the centre, it's O'Dwyer. And Burke. O'Dwyer wins it, and wins it handsomely, knocked away from Campbell, who got first touch to it. Socket off the ground. And out towards Healy at half forward. Yates should get there first. He might have got tripped up. In fact, the umpire has seen that infringement, and Mark Yates will take the free kick. Actually, Buse has come out with it, but it's going to be Yates's kick. And Mark Yates to take the free at the right half-back flank for Geelong.
Yates kicks the ball towards centre wing. Stoneham can't mark. The player at the back is Hamilton. Kicks it across his body nicely up towards half forward. Viney can't get there, but the ball floats across the line on the full. So Todd Viney will take the free kick for Melbourne at half-back. He's outside the 50-metre line and played pretty well, Todd Viney. The kick towards the wing. No mark taken, a good punch. Yates tries to tap it to the advantage of Lovett, and he gives the hand pass to Wilson. Wilson's short pass is pretty good, and Johnson, who's been brought up from defence to play on the forward line, goes for goal. It might bounce through, no. Bounces to the left, through for another behind. So Alan Johnson...
They're getting a bit more out of him this quarter, aren't they?
Well, he's a good player, and he gets the ball a bit to bring him up into the forward line. A bit risky in their defence, but at least they need to score goals to win. The kick out towards half-back, easily marked by Yates. Running onto it is Bairstow. Sweeping hand pass. It's gone 35 metres to Malakalis. He runs through the centre. The left foot kick by Malakalis towards full forward. And a Brownless mark, no. There's a chance for Ablett. Oh, he's in the back anyway. It's got to be a free kick to Ablett. Right in the goal square. And Gary Ablett, who's kicked 4. Cameron and Gridder having a bit of a dust-up. And I dare say that David Cameron will have the last laugh, because the ball will go back to Gary Ablett, waiting patiently.
Well, everybody in the ground can see this free kick. Ablett making the play. It was a bad tackle there by Phoebe. Desperately trying to get the ball out, Phoebe, but Ablett was going to ground, and Phoebe came over the top.
So Ablett will kick goal number 5.
Well, they're still doing well, Geelong. It's a pity that Johnson didn't goal earlier. Would have put a bit of interest in the game. But they're being rewarded each time they go forward. And that's his 5th goal, Gary Ablett. 3 in the second quarter, a good effort. And that one coming through a free kick. But every time Geelong go forward, they're positive. They've nearly a mark to Brownless just prior to that free.
So 2 goals to Geelong, 1 goal to Melbourne at the start of the 3rd quarter. And the Cats extend their lead. They lead now by 32 points after having a 27-point advantage at half-time.
It's a long way back from there, isn't it?
It certainly is. I thought Melbourne had their chances. Don mentioned about Johnson missing. So the bounce in the centre, O'Dwyer gets the tap out. Healy gathers well, gets the hand pass up towards half forward. Punched away by Hocking, punched away by Johnson. The ball up towards Jackson, and he gathers pretty well, Ricky Jackson. The sweeping hand pass to Yates. Into an open goal goes Graham Yates and pings it.
Well, let's see if that gives Melbourne a little bit of heart. It's clean. The way they got the ball down there was good play by Jackson. He got it across to Yates. Maybe that's a spur that they just need. See Wilson running on, but clean handling here. Good handball by Jackson, and Yates running into Wallace, an open goal. His first.
A few changes in the Melbourne defence. Spalding at centre-half back on Stone, and Dersma's gone to full-back, and White has been transferred up into the forward line. So, Melbourne, they never give up. Buse gets the ball out of the centre for Geelong. It's 1 against 4, and Buse wins out. Greg Healy, the Melbourne lone player, the kick into the forward pocket. Nearly a mark there to Brownless. He pulls Phoebe off the ball. Play goes on in the Geelong forward pocket area. The punch comes out towards the player in Bairstow. Now an opportunity for Dersma. He practically throws it to his teammate Spalding. Geelong player is crashed to the ground by Spalding, and it will be a free kick to Couch.
See, that was bad play earlier. Phoebe on the boundary line should have put it over the line, let the players regroup.
Well, perhaps I thought it could have even been a free kick to Phoebe, but still, umpires out there in control. Couch outside 50, obviously doesn't feel that he can kick the distance. Disciplined stuff, kicks it to the front of the square. Can the mark be taken? Comes to the ground, Cameron open goal, goals.
I suppose you could call that undisciplined play, because Rod Grinter flew for the mark on that occasion. There were a pack of players there, and Dersma's hurt himself. He gets up limping, and it was Grinter's man, Cameron, who was the only one down. Watch this, watch this. Here it is, the high ball. Grinter, look, going for the mark. If you're going to go for it, punch it in that position there. And Cameron going in for another Geelong goal.
So David Cameron gets the last laugh on Rod Grinter, his second goal. Very similar to his first, actually. 11-9 now to 5-13. Geelong in the third quarter going on with the job in the first semi-final. Ineffectual ruck work again. Buse tries to get clear, ultimately gets the kick out of the scramble. Down towards left half forward, knock on by Healy for Melbourne. Has to try to beat two. Bairstow's there, in goes Stretch, out goes Stretch. Drum comes up with the ball, bad hand pass. Couch might be able to make something of it. Good block by Newport. Just about thrown out to Spalding. Steins gets the hand pass back to Newport. High kick only travels 25 metres. And the man in front is Malakalis. Geelong has plenty of get up and go this afternoon. Bad pass. Jimmy Steins at the right half back flank. Short pass to Stretch, who in turn goes for the long kick. 2-on-1 in favour of Geelong. White didn't really have too many chances there. And Malakalis sees the ball over the boundary line in front of Healy. Melbourne needs some goals quickly with under 14 minutes remaining in this quarter. The Cats doing everything right so far in the term. Steins and Flanagan, actually won by Sean White. Down towards Johnson, overruns the ball. Malakalis with the front position again, but it's out of bounds. And the throw in this time about 30 metres closer to goal. Still outside 50. 11-9 to 5-13. So 32 points if Melbourne is to get back. They've got a long way to go. Schultz, the two number 7. Wilson may get there first. He's given it to Jackson. Well, centering kick for O'Dwyer, who marks! Good kick by Jackson, possibly realising he was on too bad of an angle. He was almost on the boundary line. Saw O'Dwyer. I don't think it was the best pass he'll ever get all day, Don.
I think he
I thought he might have gone for goal on that occasion.
I thought he tried to kick it to the other player, Campbell.
Whichever one wasn't a good pass if you like it that way. But O'Dwyer's got it importantly for Melbourne. 15 metres out. What's he done? It's a goal.
Well, it was a better kick by the big fella for goal. He's had two previous attempts. They've gone across the face and haven't made the distance. But I thought Jackson could have had a shot on that occasion. But then again, we're up here. We really can't appreciate the angle that he was on. And here it is, Wilson. Very good play here by Wilson. Jackson holding the ball across his body. And lucky to be paid it on that occasion.
It was lucky.
O'Dwyer.
Back into the centre of Dwyer's first goal. The Demons hanging in there in the first semi-final, but still a long way down. The Gergler stretch gets taken out of it. Leaves it for Stoneham, and Stoneham's gone short to half forward. Geelong's forward line has looked much better this afternoon. Hamilton 60 metres out.
Hamilton's short kick and chipping in to take the mark as Drum in front of Ablett. I'm sure the Hamilton pass was meant for Gary Ablett, but Damien Drum summing up the situation pretty well. He's about 45 metres from goal. He short chip and finds Cameron. And it was only a couple of minutes ago that we saw David Cameron and Rodney Grinter having words. Well, if David Cameron can kick this goal, which will be his third, I'm sure he'll have a smile on his face that'll make Rod Grinter squirm. Cameron from 30 metres. The kick off the side of his boot hits the post.
Like a drawn golf ball, that one. It kept coming around.
Yes, it was hard to pick it off the boot, wasn't it? But didn't swing enough. Grinter kicks the ball in. Oh, Dersma slips over, but he's able to take the mark. And Melbourne supporters had their hearts in their mouths.
Dersma, short of half back. Is that a mark to Boss? It is.
He was pushed into it by Phoebe.
Mark Boss has been a good player this afternoon. In front is Grinter this time. Looks for Newport. Oh, bad hand pass. Newport right on the boundary line. Will he trap it? He want to take it out. Couch. Ball finally shuffled out. Stoneham gets a very favourable bounce and gets collected by Grinter, who goes down. And umpire nothing for that. And just looking back at Grinter, he hasn't moved. He's still out. Play continues up on the centre wing. Trainer's rushing to him in the meantime. Couch goes for the hand pass to Flanagan. Attempted smother by Johnson, who's not on. Just over the head of Grinter, who's still down on the ground. Picked up by Dersma. Long hand pass. Jackson. Yates. A fresh air shot. Pretty undisciplined stuff. And the ball is out of bounds.
Should have put his hands down then, Graham Yates. But Rod Grinter doesn't look too good. Here's the clash.
Good hip and shoulder. Well, he hit his head on the ground, I think, when he fell. Let's take a look at it from another angle. Nothing illegal about it. Grinter, I think, hit his head on the ground, and that was the problem. And he's still in the hands of the trainers. Looking very proppy. I would suggest that he'd be coming off straight away. It's pretty tough, though, Rod Grinter. As though he's damaged a leg or an ankle.
Hurt his ankle, I'd suggest.
So he's coming off as quickly as possible. We have a bounce. Hocking. Hamilton. Standing start kick. Up towards full forward. Knocked away by Drum. Hocking. Love it. Takes a clean possession at half-back. Looks for and finds stretch inside the defensive 50-metre mark. Now Melbourne has a loose player just come on to replace the injured Grinter. And the ball taken away by Phoebe. Down towards the right half-forward flank for Melbourne. Wilson late on the scene. And the ball was taken away almost deliberately by Stephen Hocking.
Gee, that was poor play by Phoebe. He should have chipped that to the loose player,
yeah,
shouldn't he, though, Don?
Beveridge, who just came off the bench, was giving them the option both to Stretch and Phoebe.
Bennett taps it down. Love it. Spiral punt kick into the pocket. No, Dwyer should have marked it. Johnson's snapshot is pretty close. And it bounces through for only one behind to Melbourne.
He is one of the best taps in the league, Bennett. When he puts his hands on the ball from a boundary throw in, he really does direct it very, very well.
Melbourne kicked the next goal. It's only 3 goals the difference. The kick in by Geelong goes to the outer side. Bennett over the top can't mark, but he recovers pretty well, the big fellow, and he gathers the ball. The hand pass goes off to Healy. Healy gets the hand pass out to Yates. Yates goes for goal with the left foot. It's there. It's right on the line. Is it touched by Burt? Yes. Wow. And that was a photo finish. 25 points the difference. And Melbourne peppering the goals. We've got 8 3/4 minutes left in the third term.
Well, a couple of goals would make it interesting.
Oh, the lowness of the scores, you're never out of it. Geelong have only kicked 11. Melbourne have kicked 6, all single goal kickers. The kick into Hocking, that's Stephen Hocking, close to the line, takes the mark.
Hocking in the back pocket. 8.5 minutes left in this quarter. Into the old practice wicket area. Hocking got one hand till it's Gary Hocking. Couch, sweeping hand pass, knock on by Buse, up towards centre wing. Hamilton, Stoneham, will he get there first? Loose ball for Healy. Shuffles out the hand pass to Lovett. Now Spalding. Spalding from centre field down to right half forward, and that's a good mark. Beveridge was looking for 50 metres, he might get it. He has.
I'll tell you what, he could kick a goal from where he's going to get the kick too.
But is that really 50 metres? I've seen a lot of incidents today that warranted 50 metres. I don't believe that one did.
Well, I was going to ask you, you're the expert.
It was a bit technical. But you don't have to do that, Don.
I suppose you're right, Ian. I suppose technically the umpire's right, but it was a harmless push. Then again,
it was a push, wasn't it?
Well, if the player stands on his feet, he's got the opportunity to play on. If you push him over, he hasn't.
Beveridge, 15 metres out. Goals. Melbourne back in it. All individual goal kickers, 57 to 76.
Well, there's only 19 points the difference, and who would have believed this? And Schultz is being pulled off the ground immediately, and it would be for that action. Being replaced by Bruns. Now, I wonder if that's a good move, because Bruns was very wobbly when he went off earlier. But obviously Malcolm Blight not very happy.
Well, the Melbourne fans have now got something to scream about. Their side trail by 19 points. We've got just under 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Buse bumped off the football. Goes back to Gary Hocking. Left foot kick towards half forward. Spalding can't mark. Hamilton pushed off the ball. Campbell, a sweeping hand pass. The Demons have come out of defence. It's Viney. The short pass is okay. Beveridge takes the mark. He gets the hand pass off to Newport. Newport across his body. No one home for Melbourne. Gary Hocking marks. He plays on. Caught with the ball. Melbourne still in attack. Beveridge can't break out. And umpire Russo declares that he had no chance. So he will bounce between wing and half forward for Melbourne.
Hocking should have been paid a free kick. He was leg.
Umpire Russo with the ball. Hotting up again. The first semi-final. Steins punches the ball. Buse gathers well at half-back for Geelong. The kick is astray. It bounces just inside the field of play, so we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing.
Just starting to get the feeling, Ian, that Geelong are not as composed as what they were earlier.
6 3/4 minutes left. Steins gets another tap out. Ball comes towards Stretch. Pushed off the ball. No one can break away. Greg Healy and Gary Hocking fighting for possession. And umpire Sheehan will bounce.
That bounce will take place on centre wing. Just on Geelong's attacking side of centre. Ineffectual ruck work again. No one can pick it up. Finally it's Stretch who does get there first. He's well tackled by Bairstow. Stoneham, excellently done by the big fellow just inside the boundary line. Sean White on his own, the only one to go for it.
Good mark.
And White transferring play to the outer side now. 2 Melbourne players on the run. Campbell, though, stopped in his tracks by Mark Boss. Campbell from left half back. Standing start kick. Newport at the back. Screamer!
He had the set.
Tell you what, Melbourne are on a high.
Let's hope they can come back to even this game up. It's been a thriller. Bennett! And cops one.
Don't put Darren Bennett any closer. I'd back him from a long way out, but when he gets close, he seems to miss.
He'll kick the distance. He will kick the distance. But what about accuracy? He's already kicked a number of points. 3 in all, and a good mark on that occasion. May have put on a little act there. The umpire didn't fall through. He's only kicked the 1 goal. 1 goal, 3, Darren Bennett.
Yeah, it's not a good return for his money. Pressure on him here, directly in front, 45 out. It's a long kick. The fans like it. The goal umpire says it's a goal.
Well, each time a player does kick for goal from a set shot, they always give you the indication of what the ball has done and what they've done with the ball. Now, Darcy's gone off and Schultz is going back on. So maybe the fact that Blight wasn't happy with that from Tim Darcy, but Bennett gives you no indication of what he does with the ball once it leaves the hand. Here's the high ball, a great kick from a long way out.
Back into the centre. Only 13 points the difference now. That could be a free kick for holding the man to Geelong. The umpire says Couch can play on. He does. It's down to Hamilton. Ablett beats him to it. This is danger for the Demons. That could be another free kick to Ablett for in the back. Umpire says no. Steins looks for someone to take the hand pass. He's got Newport, who gets dispossessed. The catch running in numbers. Bruns back onto the ground. Centering kick in front of the goal square. Oh! Magnificent leap by Browners. Couldn't capitalise. And Melbourne with this out of danger. Viney's kick up towards centre wing. Lovett has got a panic to move in. He's got it down to Yates. Melbourne fans right on the edge of their seats. Yates, 45 out. It's coming around. It's a behind.
See, that was definitely coming around, Peter. You called it, but it just didn't come around quite far enough.
I tell you what, if you'd have kicked it, Don, the MCG would have erupted. McAllis to kick the ball back in for Geelong. He comes to the members' side. Spalding at the back. Does some good work from behind. Stretch. No one home for Melbourne. A mark to Geelong in the goal square taken by Burke. Long hand pass into the pocket to Buse. Buse is in the back pocket. Runs up towards half-back. A little chip pass. Finds Bruns. Geelong have got no one further afield to Bruns to kick to. Now he tries the short chip in towards Couch. Couch gathers well and kicks it long towards half-forward. White, a big punch from behind. No one home. Buse gathers well. Buse short pass into the pocket. White running with the ball. Hamilton marks. Interception by Steins. Umpire allows play to go on. Steins' pass is effective. Finds Johnson. Melbourne are on fire. Johnson's kick into the pocket. Looks for Wilson. It's too far. And it goes out of bounds in that left forward pocket. Bernie Quinlan has a report on Rodney Grinter.
Yes, Rod Grinter was in a lot of pain when he came off the ground. It is a...
Could be his ankle there, Rodney Grinter. Bernie on the boundary line having a bit of communication problems. O'Dwyer and Burke in the forward pocket. Melbourne fans alight. Beveridge, hand pass Jackson. Left foot kick by Jackson. Into the pocket, Bennett can't gather. Punched away by Schultz over the boundary line.
What a magic effort by White on that half-back line to get the ball down there. He risked himself, and a good play by Steins. Now they're starting to lift, Melbourne.
Melbourne's ruckman doing well in this third term, 11-5. Again, gather by Wilson, can't break clear. Gather by Boss, can't break out. Hocking gets the hand pass wide, close to the boundary line. Punch over his head by Buse, and we'll have another boundary throw in. But it's still within goal scoring distance for Melbourne. And another goal just before three-quarter time would make this game, well, what's it like now? It couldn't be any greater than what it is. Burke, O'Dwyer,
free kick.
And O'Dwyer's given the free kick away. It looked pretty obvious from here. And Damien Burke will relieve for the Cats.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter, so it set it up for an exciting final term. Up towards the practice wicket area. Stonen claims the mark. I didn't think it was one. Umpire didn't either. Lovett gathers it close to the boundary line, gets around Hocking. Healy, long way from goal, and decides to play on subsequently. That was touched off the boot. Spalding's there for Melbourne, grabs it, got taken high, Couch. Hocking, long kick, he had his number taken earlier. Ablett in front, strong mark in front of Phoebe. And decides to play on Gary Ablett. 55 metres out, could almost score. Brownless in the square, touched, was it? One behind. That would have been a valuable one for the Cats with the siren only 75 seconds away. 11-11 to 8-16, but we've got our ball game. 13 points the difference. Dersma kicks in, or does it short. Lovett in trouble. Brownless. Bairstow. This could be a goal. Hamilton marks. Oh, what bad play from Dersma initially, Don.
Well, actually, it was bad play by Lovett because he took his eye off the ball, but what great pressuring by Brownless because he made Lovett take his eye off the ball, and that could prove very, very costly.
44 seconds left. Hamilton, point-blank range, 15 metres out, gets the goal. That could be a costly one in the wash-up, and the difference back to 19 points.
Well, they really do play it. Oh, it's hard stopping stuff when they get the ball at full-back. Dersma earlier was involved in one where he just slipped over and took the mark there. Took his eye off the ball, Lovett, with Brownless coming in. You've got to keep your eye on the ball, and a great chip pass across to Hamilton.
So the bounce back in the centre, very close to three-quarter time. Steins tries to bump his opponent off the ball. Ball comes towards Yates. Steins just gets his foot to the ball. Up towards half-forward, Bairstow. Nearly a gather by Bruns, but good play. Newport now gets it out the stretch. Can Melbourne score before three-quarter time? Up to full forward. O'Dwyer from behind Burke. Jackson gathers well. Sweeping hand pass, but there's a free kick going back to Burke at full back.
Not a good effort by O'Dwyer on that occasion. He was behind. He could have brought the ball to ground.
Only 6 seconds left. And if Damien Burke puts his boot into this, perhaps no more scores will be added. There it is, the siren. Three-quarter time in the first semi-final. And Geelong lead by 19 points. The Cats 12-11-83. The Demons 8-16-64.
The last quarter, Geelong bench. Damien Drum there with the property steward and the head trainer, George Clark.
Bruce Lindner as well there, Pete.
19 points the difference as we begin the final term of the first semi-final. O'Dwyer and Burke. Hocking just about a throw to Buse. Buse's kick, a wobbly punt up towards Everett, who marches half forward. And this is just what Melbourne don't want to start the final term. Gary Ablett has kicked 5 goals so far and certainly would be in line for mark of the match. Not for this one, although it's a safe grab, but for one at the other end of the ground. He'll certainly get the distance, Ablett, there's no question of that. 15 possessions so far. Ablett's kick is good. So Geelong getting the last 2 goals, one in the last 30 seconds of the third quarter and another in the first 30 seconds of the last quarter, have given the Geelong side Don some breathing space.
Well, that's 6 goals to Gary Ablett, but it started in the centre. It was very, very lax marking by the fellows in the centre for Melbourne. To allow front position to go to the opposition is unexcusable. It was Hocking who got the ball out, finished up with Ablett. Started right here.
24.5 minutes left in the final term. 25 points, once again the difference in favour of Geelong. Buse, the big Flanagan, a wobbly punt kick from the ruckman. Covers a bit of distance out, but almost his second mark for the term. He might get his second kick. Will he get his second goal? Not with that kick. The kick is short into the pocket. Brownless! Snap shot is there! Last 3 goals kicked by Geelong. The Cats on fire once more.
Billy Brownless' second goal, and things seem to be going well for them. They've started like a house on fire. And Ablett giving a lot of space. They're leaving that forward line very, very open. He's able to lead into that space. And Phoebe just hasn't got the speed to go with him. And that was great play there by Brownless. You see there, Jamie Duursma holding his head in anguish.
They just haven't got the ball out of the centre though, Don, have they? Melbourne, Geelong twice, 2 goals. 31 points now. Here's another opportunity through Boss. The short kick goes into Geelong's forward half. Stretch overruns it. Phoebe can't get out of it. Kick off the ground by Hamilton up towards half forward. Another Geelong mark. Darcy. Unusual to see Tim Darcy, but he takes the mark, kicks it into the forward line proper, and Hamilton takes the mark well within scoring distance. And some poor discipline by the Melbourne defence.
Well, you really couldn't blame Sean White on that occasion because Darcy was behind. He put himself in front, but he was just that little bit too far under the ball, Sean White.
Hamilton's statistics read pretty well, 18 kicks and 12 marks. He's kicked 1 goal from 25 metres. Hamilton straight through the centre.
3 goals in 2 minutes to Geelong.
And Shane Hamilton had a brilliant first quarter on that wing. He's only a little baby-faced fellow, but boy, has he got a lot of ability. Second or third game last year against the Sydney Swans, kicked 7 goals. He found it very hard to break into this Geelong side. A very quiet, unassuming country lad, but one that does possess a lot of ability.
Well, Melbourne get the ball out of the centre for the first time in the final quarter by virtue of a free kick, but the Cats have maybe done the damage already. Lovett can't get clear. Malakalis dives on top of it, and after some pretty good shepherding, gets boot to ball. Spalding, Stoneham, back to Malakalis at centre field. The Geelong rover down towards right half forward flank. Hamilton playing on, could kick another one. Could but didn't. One behind over the head of Todd Viney. Geelong's 12th, 15-12, 102, 8-16, 64. Melbourne hasn't scored so far in the final term. And Viney does the kicking in to the outer side, and Stephen Stretch just up from the back pocket takes the mark. Made Melbourne's task pretty well, I wouldn't say impossible, but very difficult. Malakalis to Couch. He's a good long kick. Paul Couch, one of the favourite for the Brown. Though right on the line. He's chipped it back to Ablett, who can't take it. Dersma, good tackle by Ablett. The ball spills free. Brownless gets after it again. It's out of bounds. A fine tackle down there by Stephen Phoebe, and we'll see a boundary throw it in the forward pocket. Let's watch that mark again of Brownless. What a leap.
Good thing about Brownless, he attempted to play on. It's a pity it didn't come off.
The idea was right, Don, wasn't it? Yates, right on 50. Short pass. And the mark is taken by Yates. Yates to Yates. Different spelling. Ablett at the back. Gets the sit. Hamilton. And just missing with his left footer, putting it through for another behind. So the Cats now bombarding the goals. They've kicked 3 goals, 2 so far this quarter. It's 20 points to make the difference, 39 points, and really they certainly look the goods at the moment, but we've still got 21 minutes left in the match.
I suppose we could pose that hypothetical question. Had the ball have not been kicked short, that mistake in the third quarter, 12 points in the last quarter, could have been a little bit different for Melbourne.
Newport's kicking towards half back, and running into O'Dwyer was Ablett. O'Dwyer will take the free kick for Melbourne. Short kick, looking for Jackson. Phoebe does pretty well and flips it out. Oh, Yates showed courage. Phoebe goes back and gets the ball, kicks it with the left foot towards half forward. It goes over the back. Running onto it now was Buse. Sweeping hand pass by Viney. Big thump by Hocking. Kick from a standing start by Bennett. And Lux of fortune, the mark was taken by Stretch at centre half forward.
Good pass.
Well, I'm glad you've got a smile on your face when you say that, Pete. Stephen Stretch.
Will make the distance, Ian.
40 metres out, directly in front. Melbourne desperately need a goal. Drop punt kick by Stretch. Straight through the centre.
One of his attributes, Stephen Stretch, is that he is a beautiful kicker of the football. He gets a lot of distance, and as you can see that time, he is very accurate. It's only his 9th goal for the season. He's played most of the football this year on the wing or on the half back, but it was a beautiful kick, 40 metres out. Very well executed.
.20 minutes left in the game, and the difference is 33 points after the goal by Stephen Stretch. Geelong again, though, getting the ball out of the centre. Campbell's in the road. Johnson grabbed when he didn't have it by Mark Ross, and he'll take the free kick on the left centre wing.
Played it pretty well, Johnson.
Made sure the umpire saw it. I'm sure the infringement was there. And it got collected by Boss, and he's followed through too. That's a mark of Lovett. Now Lovett's within kicking distance. 33 points the difference at the moment. A goal here, therefore, for Melbourne would be more than handy.
There's a great mark. I don't think I've seen Lovett get up as high. Now playing on the half-forward line.
Let's see how his kicking goes. Well, he's holding, he won't get great distance with it. Doesn't get much accuracy either. And one behind. A little bit disappointed would be the understatement. 19 minutes and a bit left in this match.
I wouldn't have thought he'd had much practice, Pete, at goal kicking.
No, I think you're right there, Ian. Darren Flanagan will kick in. Seems to be playing at full back at the moment. We saw Darcy up on the forward line earlier in this quarter. Lights, by the way, are on here at the MCG. Schultz shuffles the ball out. Hamilton getting dragged off it by Campbell. Bennett comes out with the ball. The man with the free kick is going to be Hamilton, and that's a 50-metre penalty. The second one for Geelong today. The first one was taken by Luke Beveridge. So now it's one each.
Hamilton coming up for kick number 22.
And he had a lot of those in the first quarter. He played an excellent first term, Shane Hamilton. He's kicking now from right centre wing.
Towards centre half forward, floating across the pack. Spalding couldn't mark. Brownless gathers. Sweeping hand pass. An opportunity for Cameron. Short pass is effective. Stoneham takes the mark at centre half forward. Only 35 metres from goal, and Geelong too easy.
Well, they're showing a lot of composure, and teams usually do show a lot of composure when they're so far in front. And Geelong are a long way in front, 24 points. And Barry Stoneham could make it 30.
Stoneham kicks for goal, and he kicks his fourth.
He's got a nice kicking action, Barry Stoneham. He jumps into the ball. There's not much follow through. He drops it pretty close to his boot. Leans back on it. And it's a nice kick for goal. Barry Stoneham playing well at centre-half forward. That's his fourth goal for the game.
10 goals between the half forwards. Ablett 6 and Stoneham 4. Big difference between the two teams. 38 points now, Geelong's lead. Couch has a chance. He gets the sweeping hand pass into the forward half. Spalding decked. Umpire allowed play to go on. Stretch gathers. Good tackle, Bairstow. Attempted kick off the ground by Stoneham. He gets it from Gary Hocking. Stoneham could kick his fifth. Goes into an open goal and misses to the right.
And Earl Spalding now on hands and knees. He was flat on his back there for a while, but he looks as if he's recovered.
Mark Bairstow, the Geelong player.
He's got 1 or 2 today, Bairstow.
Kick by Dursma, this time goes straight down the ground. A good mark taken by O'Dwyer. And Melbourne, desperation stakes now. They trail by 39 points. The hand pass goes to Johnson. Johnson kicks towards half forward. Bruns backs himself and does it pretty well. Gets it off to Bairstow. Bairstow's kick into the forward line, and the mercurial Gary Ablett marks unopposed. And I would suggest that he would have a shot for goal from there. 15 kicks, 10 marks, 2 hand passes, and to cap off a great game, he's kicked 6. This could be 7th. Magnificent kick off to the right. Looks a little disappointed, but my scoreboard shows 6 goals, 5 against Gary Ablett's name.
I'm disappointed too, because I'd put it down as he kicked it. Not as neat as it was. The scorecard, O'Dwyer, Couch, long hand pass to Bruns. He got decked earlier in the game and left the field. Dursma. Dursma's kick to the half back line. Bruns spectacular. Wilson onto Stretch. Stretch full of running. At right centre wing, doesn't get the bounce that he would have wanted. He's almost within kicking distance now. He's a good kick of the ball as a rule. Oh, gee, that's not bad. That's a great effort. The goal umpire coming out. I think it will be a goal. Yes, it is. Full points to Stephen Stretch, his 2nd goal in this quarter.
And Jamie Dursma limping from the ground as Melbourne kicked their 10th goal through Stephen Stretch, being replaced by Peter Rode. Jamie Dursma. And Stephen Stretch nearly mucked it up. Another bounce. Is this the one he doesn't pick up? Yes.
Reminiscent of Gabba's run, almost gone.
I think he could have gone for another one had he have liked, but a good kick for goal. Well shepherded by Greg Healy.
Under 16 minutes left in this match. Stretch booting his 2nd goal. Melbourne bench looks on. Have they time to come back? One would think not. The way Geelong are playing, certainly. Stretch is 2nd, 111 to 77 at the MCG. Wilson tries to get it out of the centre. Couch, his opposite number 7, will do just that with a hand pass to Bairstow. Dummies well. Bairstow from a standing start. Long kick to half forward. Where's Ablett? Brownless has it knocked away from him. Oh, excellent from Hamilton. Darcy snaps and goes.
Well, I suppose again the value of getting the ball out of the centre. And Geelong now congratulating one another. Started with Couch up there, finished with Darcy. But they are playing well. Here's the ball, quickly out of the centre. Well done by Sean White to get it down. And Darcy, just the opportunist in the right place at the right time. And playing better when he's gone on the forward line.
Oh, it's fantastic play by Hamilton. 40 points now, the Cats lead. Couch again, a chance to get it out of the centre. Greg Healy gets his right foot to the ball up towards half forward, but there's a free kick being picked out of the contest back in the centre. And it'll go to Couch. Couch on the defensive side of the centre, out towards half forward. Buse is on his own. runs through the practice cricket pitch area. The chip kick around his body marked the Brownless in front of White.
Doing it on the bit, aren't they?
Was that arrogance or what? When Hughes went around that outer wing there, he tucked the ball under one arm, was signalling to the fellows down the ground to move. They did move. He then chipped it across the Brownless.
Brownless has kicked one. Brownless's kick, he just hooks it a little bit and it misses to the left-hand side. So Billy Brownless 1 goal 3 in that Geelong score of 17-16. And Melbourne perhaps looking as though season 1989 is over for them. Closing part of the third term, costly for the Demons. Newport kicks it in towards the members' side. O'Dwyer can't mark. Sweeping on the ball, Couch. He and Bairstow have done pretty well since they've come on the ground. Hamilton, oh, what a great smother by Sean White as Hamilton had the goals in his sights.
It was a magic smother, wasn't it? Hit his hands. And well done, Sean White.
41 points now, the Cats lead. Boundary throw in their right forward pocket. Ablett gathers, gets his foot to the ball, can't quite put off an effective kick. Newport's kick out towards the wing. Yates can't break away. Coming up from half-back in front of Steins is Flanagan, and Flanagan punts it back to the goal square. At the back, opportunity for Brownless. He can't break clear. White can for Melbourne, and his long kick out towards the wing. Nearly marking there was Bairstow, but he does it pretty well in front of Stretch. He gets the hand pass off the Bruns. Runs through the practice cricket pitch area. Kicks into full forward. Brownless can't mark. It's punched to the front of the pack. Hughes, hand pass to Ablett. Ablett, goal number 7. No, he misses. 6 goals, 6 to Gary Ablett in a match-winning performance by the Super Cat.
19 possessions he's had, including 10 marks, although Shane Hamilton has taken 12 marks. He's had 22 kicks and 3 hand passes. 2 of Geelong's better players today, certainly. In front of Spalding, copped another one for his corner. And once again, he lies prostrate on the turf. Couch, meantime, gathers and does it well. Stoneham thought about giving it back to Couch. Yates tries to get into the open spaces. Can't do so. Good pressuring. Might have been grabbed when he didn't have it. The umpire in the meantime had blown the whistle. And Yates will get the free kick at the left half-back flank. Gets around Stoneham. Up the centre winger, Dwyer, the high flyer from the back. Goes on with it with Schultz. Play continues. Bennett doesn't get too much distance with that kick. Beats Lovett the bout. Healy off the ground. Hocking's there for Geelong. So too is Campbell. Beveridge in the meantime. Can he gather it just inside the line? He gets taken over. The ball's still in. Johnson is off target and one behind. To Melbourne, when they badly need goals. 12.5 minutes remaining in the match.
His 4th behind since half-time, Alan Johnson.
Yates to kick the ball back in for Geelong. He's gone short. Oh, that's a mistake that Jamie Dersma made in the latter stages of the third quarter. Hamilton, his 23rd kick, is marked by number 23 in Schultz. Kicks it to centre wing. Hocking in front of Campbell. Has taken a real slider just inside the boundary line. Had his number taken earlier by an umpire for an indiscretion. Ablett full of running on Wilson. The ball out of bounds on centre wing. Gary Ablett, 6 goals so far. 17 kicks he's had and 2 hand passes. And the scoreboard, if you're a Melbourne fan, not particularly good. Steins loses that one out. Kicked away by Couch. Started on the bench. Stoneham leaves it for Ablett, but the boundary line is too close. And once again, another throw in. 11.5 minutes left in the match.
Well, Geelong look as though they're going to go forward to the preliminary final, have another crack at Essendon. Be a tremendous clash. Jackson takes the ball from that ruck contest. Jackson's kick towards half forward. Geelong mark taken by Stephen Hocking. He's been a solid defender, Stephen Hocking, all day. He runs on. The left foot kick covers 40 metres. No one home there for Geelong. Stoneham over the top of Jimmy Steins, but Steins takes the mark at half-back for Melbourne. Steins kicks it in towards the centre. Looking for Bennett. He can't mark. Gathered by Boss. Gets his foot to the ball. Gathered by Bairstow. Hand pass back to Stephen Hocking. A little chip pass. 2 Geelong players on their own on this members wing. Shane Hamilton. Kick into the pocket. Great kick too in front of Brownless, who lumbers out in front of Sean White and takes an easy mark in the right forward pocket.
He'd just about kick it too, wouldn't he?
Well, I think he'd get the distance, Billy Brownless. He's kicked 1 goal too. And has been another option up forward for the Cats. Beautiful kick by Brownless.
The second.
Well, they've got some beautiful kicks on that forward line. When you take into account Brownless, his second, and also Ablett, they kick the ball the proverbial mile. And all it is a question of accuracy when those two players get the ball. And quite interesting, this Sean White realised that Brownless had it sewn up. Brownless realised he had it sewn up, and he just jogged into it. Sean White jogged behind. No desperation.
Brownless' second goal, Geelong's 18th, and the Cats sewing up their place in next week's preliminary final. Thumped away by Flanagan, intercepting is Johnson from a standing start. He's kicked down towards half forward, a knock on. So a chance for Melbourne. Healy, good tackle. The ball spills free, but it should be picked up by Yates, who threw some pretty heavy traffic, gets it out, and the Cats doing it now with consummate ease. Back it comes to the centre to Bruns. Neville Bruns from a standing start virtually up to half forward, looking for Brownless, couldn't find him. Couch, Stoneham barely travels the required distance, but Cameron's got it. Now Cameron's kicked 3 and make that 2.
Give them some space, and they're very damaging, aren't they, the Cats?
Full of running in at the moment. So David Cameron has got another one. That is his 3rd goal.
David Cameron was a very, very dangerous forward last year and the year before for Geelong. A real goal sneak in the forward pocket. But he's had a little bit of trouble adjusting to Malcolm Blight's coaching. But he's made his mark today, getting into the side. Under a little bit of a doubt earlier in the week with an injury. And you could see him there willing that ball through. And he has played well. That's his 3rd.
As though he was conducting the BSO down there. 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Steins and Flanagan to contest the knockout. 131 to 78. The Cats, as it turns out, in a hand canter.
Lovett's hand pass out to Yates. Yates hand pass over the top to the advantage of Johnson. Johnson, left foot kick into the pocket is pretty good. Taking the mark is O'Dwyer. He kicks it straight across the goals, and chipping in, taking a good mark is Couch in front of Wilson. Couch, since coming on, has had 7 kicks, 8 kicks and 12 hand passes. Kicks it out wide to Hamilton. And has he been a surprise packet? Hamilton, his left foot kick laconically up towards Flanagan, who takes the mark, and the Cats are running riot. Loose players everywhere. Flanagan's kick up towards full forward. Look at that. Gary Ablett, 50 metres from goal.
The kicks.
Sorry, Don.
The kicking's been superb by Geelong. They're putting it out into spaces, and the players are able to lead with confidence. Ablett has had the ball delivered in such a way since half-time. It's been good to see. Here he is again finding space, and a strong mark.
Well, he's kicked 6 goals, 6. He's had 17 kicks and 2 hand passes, taken 11 marks. The mercurial Gary Ablett from 50 metres. Look at the kick. Perfect.
He's probably got more ability, that fellow, than anybody else in the league. He's really worked on his game this year. He's got a little bit of defence into it. And here it is, a good kick by the big fellow Flanagan. Well led, well marked, and a beautiful kick to finish off. Some good work by Gary Ablett. He's had 3 opponents today.
Free kick out of the centre going Melbourne's way. Spalding out of the centre after the free, knocked down by O'Dwyer. Couches at the fall of the ball for Geelong, and he's done well since he came on. Bruns has done well since he came back. Bruns' kick up the half forward, redhead to redhead. Stoneham.
And Bennett playing at centre-half back now.
Darcy trying to get full forward after starting at full back.
Steins at centre-half forward. Spalding in the ruck. O'Dwyer at full forward for Melbourne.
Mobile chess, isn't it, at the moment? Darcy directly in front of goal. Has he kicked it like a full back? One thinks he has. One behind. 7 minutes left in this match. The Cats have kicked so far 8 goals, 7 in this final quarter. Melbourne, very disappointing. Knocked down by Darcy again. The Cats finishing full of running. Tackle by Spalding on Yates was ineffective. Darcy again gets ridden into the ground by Phoebe. Attempt to mark by Healy, not successful. Ablett gives his opponent Rowe a heave-ho. And it'll be thrown in right forward pocket for Geelong. 20-18 to 10-18, so 10 goals the difference now. After the Demons got to within a couple of kicks late in the third quarter. Buse's kick is off target, out of bounds or a behind. It's the latter, so a further point to Geelong. 20-19 to 10-18. Sean White to bring the ball back into play. This time to the member stand side, and the mark is taken by Phoebe. Phoebe just from the back pocket region. Kicks to Spalding, mark, free kick or whatever. And Spalding decides to play on pretty quickly. Stumbles, the turf still pretty greasy. Back to Yates at left centre wing. Yates goes long to half forward. Steins tried to mark one-handed. Didn't do so. It'll be a boundary throw-in.
And Steins held on to by Schulz on that occasion, but the umpire running behind both players and didn't quite see Schulz hanging on.
Steins knocks it down almost a stretch. Healy gives a hand pass. Went through the legs of Buse, who tunnels it out the back. Healy gets boot to ball pretty quickly. Almost a mark to Hocking. Jackson tries to get clear, gets offloaded. Wilson off the ground. And a chance now for Beveridge. He gives it back to Stretch. Plenty of time to steady. Kicks long. Shepherded through by Dwyer for a goal.
Well, there's a lot of ability shown in that goal then. It was intentional by Brian Wilson to kick the ball off the ground across in the general direction of centre half forward, because you could see the Melbourne players unattended. There it is. Beveridge by himself. And a very laid-back kick there by Stephen Stretch. But nonetheless, a good goal, his third.
Well, I suppose it puts some sort of respectability in the Melbourne scoreline. 11-18 plays 20-19. Flanagan gets the tap out to Steve Hocking. He tried to give the hand pass twice, then elects to kick towards half forward. Ablett gets up, kicks with the left foot and hits the post. Gee, what can't he do, Gary Ablett? There's probably nothing on the football field. He is just a superstar. Stephen Newport will kick the ball back into play. He goes to the outer side, and the player on his own there is Brett Lovett. Takes the mark between back pocket and half back. Kicks it high towards the half-back area proper, and Greg Healy takes the mark. Plays on quickly. Left foot kick by the captain up towards half forward. Steins can't mark. He's being held onto. No, he wasn't. He was holding his Geelong opponent, Schultz. And Schultz will take the free kick on centre wing. Puts the Cats back into attack. Up towards half forward. Ablett. 13th mark. Plays on quickly. Kick into the pocket. Buse into an open goal goes Buse and pumps it.
Well, there's holes everywhere as far as Melbourne are concerned. And Geelong just springing up with the answers. What a magic mark it was to Gary Ablett out there. Admittedly, he had to sit, but look just how high he can get up. Uses his leg and then spots Buse. It was unselfish play by Ablett. And a good kick by the Rover.
It's a real team effort today from Geelong, isn't it?
They've been terrific since the start of the game. Flanagan's tap out. Lovett's on the end of it for Melbourne. The kick finishes with Johnson. He shrugs the tackle, Alan Johnson. Kicks it up towards full forward. No mark. O'Dwyer gathers pretty well. Hand passes off. Goal coming up to Greg Healy for Melbourne.
His first goal for the day, Greg Healy.
It was well done by the big fellow then.
Has had 17 kicks, Healy, but I didn't think it would get him into one of his best games.
And here it is, O'Dwyer quickly across to Healy. To make sure of it, he grubs it along the ground.
Well, their forward line, Don, all the year has been suspect, and in a first semi-final to kick just 12-18, they certainly have missed Gary Lyon, haven't they?
I don't think it's a forward line. I think it started early in the game, a lack of commitment, Ian.
90 to 146 now after that goal by Healy, who's first for the day. Malakalis takes the ball brilliantly from centre field. Up to right half forward. There he is again, Ablett, who's had 14 marks.
And that's his fourth opponent.
20 kicks, 2 hand passes, 7 goals.
Peter Road just behind him, a fourth opponent for Gary Ablett. He's had Sean White, Stephen Phoebe, Rodney Grinter, and now Peter Road.
Can he make it 8 goals? 52 metres out. Not a bad sort of a hoik. Oh, Brownless! His second great mark of this quarter. The last one, you may remember, he played on because he was on a bad angle. He should be able to go with this one for his third, which he gets. 3 goals to Brownless.
Well, that was a cat-like performance by Brownless. He's a real spring-heel jack. He might catch her this one.
10 goals
Here
for the quarter now, Dot.
Great kick. And watch Brownless set himself behind. Just better judgment on that occasion. Everyone went to ground, and he was the only one with the ball.
Gee, they've got a few options on the forward line, haven't they now?
I was just wondering if anyone's ever kicked the ball out of the MCG. Well, Billy Brownless then could have had a try at that. Taking the mark in the goal square. It's a big kick to get it over the scoreboard up there, but some disconsolate-looking Melbourne people on the bench. Jamie Dersman, Gary Lyon in particular.
2.5 minutes left. 10 goals kicked by Geelong in this final quarter, as they've given Melbourne a bit of a hiding in this last term. Jackson just about throws it out. Viney couldn't do much with it. Hamilton can. That's his 26th kick. He's had 31 possessions so far. Not a bad effort. Knock on by Spalding up towards Hocking. He gets dispossessed pretty quickly, but he's got a second chance. And through some heavy traffic at midfield, down towards half forward. Darcy, like using him in attack in the last quarter. Malakalis again, short pass. And that's brilliant stuff from Geelong. They're doing things as they like. And Bairstow has a chance to cap off what would be a pretty good day. 10 goals so far in the final quarter. He has a chance to make it 11 with just under 2 minutes left in this first semi. Remember that Bairstow started on the bench. For his first goal, hit the post, 1 behind. So 10 goals, 10 Geelong has kicked so far in this last quarter. That's not a bad effort.
Not a bad effort. I'd say it was pretty good. Stretches kick out towards the members' wing. Yates gathers, can't control the football. Boundary throw in to take place right in front of the members' stand. And Geelong have annihilated Melbourne in this last quarter. 66 kicks to 33. Flanagan down to Couch. Couch sweeping to Stephen Hocking. Ball finishes with Brett Lovett. He gets the hand pass over the top. Bairstow, he's tackled well. Ball Couch, Jackson. Couch onto it again. Kick off the ground by Hamilton up towards full forward. Road gathers with no confidence. Bennett out to White. Melbourne under lots of pressure in defence by the Geelong forwards. And all Stephen Phoebe can do is take it over the boundary line for a throw-in. So we've got less than a minute left of the football season for the Melbourne Football Club. They've been a tremendous outfit all throughout the season, but they've been put to rest by the Cats. Stephen Phoebe comes out of defence, kicks it in towards the centre. Gathered there by Beveridge. He tries to flip it over to Steins, and it's successful. Steins looking to give the hand pass off, forced to kick up towards centre half forward. Geelong defence, though, do it well again. Boss, left foot kick out wide, and Geelong have got the numbers on the outer wing. It's Bairstow, the kick in towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Darcy. Perhaps the siren may sound before Geelong can kick another goal. Darcy around onto the right foot, kick it towards the full forward area. No mark to Malakalis. The punch away by White, gathered by Viney, out towards the boundary line, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. And there will be no more score because the siren will sound to end the game, and Geelong proceed to the preliminary final.
So let's check the final scores. Gary Ablett looking pretty happy as well. He might. Geelong 22-21, 153, defeating Melbourne 12 goals, 18-90.